Welcome to Big Hoss's Tailgate.
And we're live. What's up? I'm with Whitney Moore. What kind of, like, where are you from originally? Like, comic wise? Like, what are you, someone says, like, hey, you're a.
I would say that I'm like a Pittsburgh based comedian because I aspire to be outside of Pittsburgh.
As do we all.
Yeah. But I feel like where I got like my start would definitely probably be like Kansas.
Okay.
Like my very good friends, her husband does comedy, he does stand up, and they also own like a film company, and so they shoot specials and stuff, and they actually produce a really great show. And so I would go do I'd go to his shows, and then like between comics or like between open mics, I would do like these little bits in the bar, like in the booths at the bar, and it would gather like a little audience. I'm not gonna say like a ton of people, but it would always gather like a little audience. And people were like, you should just get up there. You should get up there. And then I would never do it because I was like, no, like this doesn't like, I don't know. It was like my friend's thing. So I was like, I didn't want to really be that girl. I was like,
yeah, you don't want to like, I don't want to step on my friend's thing.
yeah, I was like, and they're not like that. They were like, no, do it. And then when I moved to Pittsburgh, like years later, I actually Googled what to do in Pittsburgh this weekend, and the St. Clair Social open mic was at the top of the list, and I thought it was like music or like poetry because I was going through like a little bout of depression, and I was like, I could really like just talk about my feelings.
Oh yeah, I love treating an open mic like, okay guys, this is my therapy session. I'm just coming here to spill out what happened throughout my day.
Yeah, truly, I thought it was poetry. Like I was like, I wrote like probably one of the worst poems like known to mankind, and I was like, I'm gonna get up there and I'm gonna get my snaps. And then I walked in and it was just like chaos, and I was like, this doesn't feel like vibey like poetry. And then it was an open mic, and I met someone who was like writing for like their little 5 minutes, and they were just kind of like, you should like, you sit back, watch, like you never know what could come of it. And so when I was talking to them, I had just made like a casual joke, and they were like, you should get up there. You should get up there today. And so, yeah, first time I ever did an open mic, I went up at St. Clair Social, and I did pretty well. Like, I'm not going to say it was great. It was like my first time doing an actual like open mic, but I did pretty well. People laughed at it, and then I just from there I was like, I'm gonna do this forever, I think, or I hope.
Yeah, that's the bad one when you do it and you kind of get a laugh or like get a little like chuckle, and you're like, and it's like, oh no,
yeah,
I'm hooked. Like,
yeah, I was like, this is what it feels like. I'm guessing to do ketamine one time.
Yeah,
like you got a little taste, and you're like, yeah, that tastes pretty good, and I could do it again. Maybe I'll space it out, and before you know it, you're like, I'll do whatever show you ask me to do, any mic, whenever you say there's a mic, I'll be there. Like it is addicting. Oh yeah,
like it gets addicting after a while, and then like you hit a point where you're just like, I don't want to look at you people anymore. Yeah. Like I'm tired of work. I'm tired of seeing you.
Yeah,
I see you more than my family.
Yes, I feel like people don't say that a lot because Pittsburgh is small. Like it is a decent sized city, but when it comes to like art forms, you just know everybody already.
Yeah.
Like that's how it is. Like we know everybody, especially if, like you and I, if you've been doing it for a little bit of time or a couple years, you know like everyone in Pittsburgh who does comedy. And then it gets to a point you're like, I just don't want to see you people right now. Like, I cannot see people right now.
Yep. You're just like, I need to hide. Like I moved into this place, and it's like I don't want to leave.
Yeah,
because I'm so like tucked away, and I get to hide from people, and it's just like I don't know if that's COVID that did that. Because I used to be an outgoing person. I loved going out every weekend.
Yeah,
I would make sure I'd go out Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday was a light day.
Yeah.
Now it's like I don't want to get out of bed. I just want to chill.
Yeah.
Play Xbox.
Truly, I'm like, I went from being a person who was like every night, I'm like, I'm a happy hour girl, and then I'm an after hours girl, and then I'm falling asleep on the North Shore girl, to being like, you would have to, like, I go kicking and screaming to get out of the house. Like, I don't want to leave.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah, Tequila Cowboy was my spot, and then I don't know what happened from when I like COVID on. Yeah. Like it just got like I used to hear people tell me like, yeah, we don't go anymore. I'm like,
Yeah.
what happened? I'm like, then I walked in. I was like, oh, I'm just the old man now.
Well,
It's weird if I go. It's like
that's how I'm like, oh, I guess like it's odd. I also feel like we're of a generation where like we just got the clubbing in because like club culture is like completely over.
Yep.
But I'm like, when the first time I went to Tequila Cowboy, I lived in Beaver Falls, so I drove all the way up here to go, and they still had the riding bull. And it was kind of fun, but I was like, they had a live band, they had the karaoke, they had the other room, and like tons of people, but no one's dancing. Everyone's standing.
I always told them move the live band, like move the time.
Yeah.
Move the time like from 9 to 12 or like 10 to 1 or something, because I said people don't really start getting into the band till like 10 o'clock, and then you shut them off after an hour and then throw the DJ on.
Yeah, it's like,
and it's like that's when everybody kind of starts dancing, or well, it's more just
like the weird movements near each other.
Yeah, it kind of reminds you like the old Grand Theft Auto like dances.
Yeah.
Like that's how people dance in the club now. They're just, I can't touch you, so it's all.
Yeah. And when I moved here, like I moved here coming off of very small towns. Like I moved here from Clay, Kentucky, which is like a nowhere town. And before that, Manhattan, Kansas. And before that, Macomb, Mississippi. So like, and I did go to clubs, bars that were just crazy in those small little towns. So when I came to Pittsburgh, I was like, I'm going to shake ass like no one's ever seen before because like I'm in the city.
Yeah.
And then I got here and I was like, oh, we just stand.
Yeah, no one actually does any kind of dancing unless you go to like a club that's not like the main club in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Like if you go to like a smaller like club that's like outside this, like outside the city limits maybe.
Yeah.
Like those places will throw down, but that's it.
That's it. And everybody was like, oh no, like Cavo's the place. Cavo's the place. That's where they dance. I went to Cavo, stood in line, got in, couldn't understand what we were doing there. It was like, it's extreme. It's fine when the music's loud. Mm-hmm. This is like when I start to think like I'm a little bit neurodivergent because I'm like, why are we so loud?
Yeah.
The music is so loud, but I just feel like it feels even louder because you're not having a good time.
Yeah, and you can't talk to anybody.
Yeah.
You can't explain like, oh yeah, this is where I'm like, because they're like, who are you?
Yeah.
Like you can't even talk to strangers because you walk up, they're like, who are you? And they can't hear you. So it's like, danger, danger.
Yeah.
And you're like, I just said hi.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, and then like, I'm also like, I feel so bad for the white women who are at these clubs when I show up because I'm not the best dancer. Like when people see me and specifically like my build, they're like, oh, she's gonna throw it back. Like that's what's gonna happen. And then I don't know how to do that. And it's just like, I'm constantly asking people like, is it happening back there? And like when like white girls see me on the dance floor, they like flock because they're like, yes, like this is it. This is our moment to really shake ass. And then like I'm waiting for them and it's just like more people staring at each other. I'm just adding to the problem.
It's funny. I went to go see Wiz Khalifa last year. Mm-hmm. It was like my first time like ever going to a rap concert. I'm like, oh man, people are gonna be like throwing down. It was just a sea of white girls out there just not like trying to shake ass and nothing happening.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? This is not what I expected at all.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, you're at Wiz Khalifa. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And there are like the white girlies who really can throw it back. And my favorite is like when you say, if I say something like, I don't know, like white girls out there just trying their best, there's always like 2 or 3 like, not me. No, I can dance. No. And they'll do it right there for you. They're like, I'm like, this is not an audition.
Yeah, I'm like, we know who you were in high school.
Yeah.
We know who you were.
Yeah. And honestly, if you don't believe like this pertains to you, you did not have to comment back to this. You could let that go. Like they're always like, no, like, no, I totally get what you're saying, but like I actually shake ass like pretty well actually. If you want to see it, I'm like, no, I'm okay. And then they always have like war stories.
And then
like,
here's your TikTok videos and everything.
Yeah.
And you're like, I didn't need to see all that, Tiffany. I really did.
Yeah.
It's always a Tiffany.
Yeah, always a Tiffany.
Or Sarah.
Tiffany.
Sarah's they sneak up on you.
Emma's. Like, I have a friend named Emma, so that's not who I'm talking about.
No comment. I'm not going to comment at all.
But like, it's and they always have like these Vietnam war stories about the time they did shake ass. Like they won a Purple Heart for it. They're like, you don't understand that like the time I was putting in work. I was like, I wasn't there for it.
I was going through a lot. And you're like...
Yeah.
My favorite joke ever is when someone says they're going through a lot. It's probably from the movie The Breakup.
Oh, okay.
It's when Vince Vaughn's yelling at
I know exactly what you're going to say, yeah.
My sister's been through a lot. Yeah, of dick.
Yeah.
It's like the greatest response because like you want to say it and you're like, I'm glad he did.
Yeah.
I'm glad he did for me. Like,
Yeah. What would you say is like your favorite comedy movie?
comedy movie? Oh, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
Because like a lot of people want to say The Hangover and stuff, but I'm like,
Oh, no,
it
I
all
don't like
depends
them.
on what you rank as a comedy.
Yeah.
Because like Aladdin can be considered a comedy, and that's
True.
one of my favorites. So
Yeah.
Robin Williams,
True. Yeah.
technically Hook.
Oh,
Hook is on.
good.
Hook's been on the comeback lately.
Yes.
Even like Spielberg's like, yeah, people really like Hook for some reason. He's like, everybody shit on it when it came out. He's like, I didn't know that people love this.
Yeah, it's like the perfect movie. Like Julia Roberts is Tink, and it's such a good movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I seen that Thud Bud does stand up, like the real heavy kid.
No way.
Yeah, he does stand up, and I
Oh,
guess
I have to
showed
check that
up
out.
at Netflix as a joke, dressed as Thud Bud.
That's funny.
And I was like, bangarang, man.
That's funny. I didn't. I'm gonna have to look that up.
I think Rufio became a stunt man.
That makes sense. Makes sense.
I think so. I could be wrong on that one.
Yeah.
Because I always get him mixed up with the kid from Ninja Turtles 2. That he was in Surf Ninjas,
Yep.
like that guy.
Yeah.
I know he was in the Rundown.
Yeah.
He plays like the brother that beats the shit out of The Rock.
Yeah. Which
Back when The Rock looked human.
Yeah. I was like back when he was in an attainable fight.
Yeah, when you were like, oh, like he just got done wrestling and
Yeah.
showed up to set, like that kind of like The Rock then. Now
Yeah.
he's just like a mountain, and then he shrunk.
Yeah. He's been like telling people about his weight loss journey. I was like, I don't think like
You
you're not
can't
hitting
say
the demo.
weight loss.
Yeah.
You can't say that. You just stopped working out.
Yeah, he's like, I actually feel like a lot better in my body, and I've just been treating myself better. And I was like,
Yeah, getting off roids will do that.
I was like, I'm sorry. So you just like stop doing the stuff you're like. He made it sound like he's going to start a Jenny Craig ad very quickly.
I will say underrated, like when The Rock was huge movie, Hercules.
Hercules.
Have you seen it? Mm-mm. It's with Ian McShane. I think John Hurt's in it. I can't remember, but like, there's a bunch of like people like they were in other things later.
Yeah.
But like the movie's like kind of based on a graphic novel of Hercules where he's not really Hercules. But so him and this like band of like people he travels with,
Yeah.
like fake that he does all these miracles.
Sounds like
But-
his real life.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. But then at some point, there's a little bit of hint that maybe he actually is Hercules. 'Cause
Yeah.
he does weird shit where they're like, no man can ever do that. Like,
Yeah.
he didn't fake that. We didn't fake that.
Yeah.
So maybe there is
Maybe
some truth.
he's Hercules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but like the movie's actually pretty good. There's like
That's
one of
fair.
these. There's one moment that happens there, like where Ian McShane characters keeps saying that this is not how I die, so I'm good.
Yeah.
And then his moment comes where he's supposed to die, and then Hercules like catches it, throws it back at the guy, and kills him. He's like, "That was my moment, dude. I was supposed to die right then."
Yeah.
And then like he goes, "What's gonna happen now?" He's like, "I don't know. I was supposed to be dead." Like they
Yeah.
stayed with it. I was like, "All right." Like I think it's
That's
underrated
funny.
as
Yeah.
a comedy.
I feel like my favorite, and like this is not my favorite comedy movie, but this is just very niche. My favorite rock movie is, I think it's called The Game Plan. It's a Disney movie. It's
Oh, that's the one with his daughter.
Yeah,
like where
it's-
he's a quarterback and finds
Yeah.
out he has a daughter.
That's the biggest I wanted to see The Rock, and that's where I capped out. I was like, him being ginormous for this movie is so funny because he has like this little kid with him. But after that, I was like, I just think you're too big.
Yeah.
Like I just don't like it, and it's not having a good time.
I remember the theater like went off in
Yeah.
Fast and Furious when he was like, "I'll ride with you, Toretto."
Yeah.
And, like that was everybody's big Avengers moment
Yep.
for like Fast and Furious. After that, it's just like, what are you gonna do now?
Go to space.
Jump, blow up the Hoover Dam, and
Yeah.
just drive down it? I'm like,
Yeah.
what is?
Like when people say like, babe, I think we're losing the plot. Like Fast and Furious is ground zero for losing the plot. Like we've forgotten what we're doing.
And it's
here.
like I don't know how you correct it.
Yeah.
Because they're like, no, the last one's the final one. I'm like, you say that.
you said that like after the first two.
But I know I'm going to get a Young Dom series
Yeah.
on Peacock. I know it's coming. Like something like that's coming.
Yeah, I think my favorite comedy, and I feel like people are, I wouldn't say just now, but I would say in the last like 5 years, I've heard a lot of people say like, this is a good movie, is The Burbs. with Tom Hanks.
Oh, yes, that is a good one.
I will never not laugh at that movie. Like when we were kids, we were not allowed to celebrate Halloween. So we just watched movies on Halloween and like shut all the lights off so like trick-or-treaters like would not come to our house. And I think that had more to do with us like not wanting to be jealous of them and less to do with like them not knocking on the door. And so we would just watch like a movie we'd never seen. And I remember one year we got The Burbs, and I was like, I'm like a scaredy cat. I don't like anything scary at all. I don't want to be scared. I don't want to.
Same.
I don't want to go to bed thinking about like.
I can't play Resident Evil because I'm that much. I can't play video games because I get scared.
I couldn't even as a kid. I could not watch Disney Channel during October because I was like, I will not go to bed.
Yep.
Like, are you afraid of the dark? Yes, I am. Like, please don't show me that
Goosebumps
stuff.
actually like.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm in therapy for like Goosebumps. But The Burbs was one of those movies we watched, and I remember thinking like, I'm gonna be so scared, it's gonna suck, and it was so funny. And I just remember like having to wrangle my siblings into watching it. Like anytime we had like a movie day or we had like downtime, I was like, we should watch The Burbs, and they were like, not again. I was like, please. Now I own it, so I'll watch it whenever. But
I seen they did the remake. They made it a series.
A show, yeah.
How is it?
So
Since you love the original, like how's the new one?
I will say I watched it out of spite because I was like, I love the original so much that they're going to absolutely ruin it. There are some parts of the series that are like they're cheesy. Like the town is named after Tom Hanks. Like kind of cheesy. And like his picture is like black and white. That stuff, kind of dumb. They do not, the base plot line of your neighbors are hiding something is there, but that's about it.
See, that I'm like one of those, don't even call it that. Just
Thank
call
you.
it something different.
Yeah.
That's,
And I think that's where they shot themselves in the foot.
yeah,
It's
I
not
would rather
bad.
it been a sequel
Yeah.
where like the families like, you know, or
Yeah.
something like that. I'd have been down for that. But
Yeah. Yeah, it's a whole new character line. Like, there's nobody's, like, related to the Klopexes. Like, there's nothing like that is happening. There's these little tags back to the movie that, like, if you're a fan of The Burbs, it's, like, really fun to see. But the show itself, it's not that... Is it, like, the best cinema? No. It's a pretty easy show to follow. I just would not have called it The Burbs because people who are a fan of that movie probably will not watch it because they're like, well, I'm such a, like...
Yeah.
a
Because I
cult
was
follower.
interested because of Keke Palmer.
Yeah.
Like her personality, everything makes me laugh. Like the interview she did where she said something like, ooh, like 2 girls, 1 cup. And like, they're like, what are you doing bringing that up?
Yeah.
The fact that someone in Hollywood acknowledged 2 girls, 1 cup is hilarious to me.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, you were a Disney kid too. So that's even funnier.
Yeah, we watched it. It wasn't bad. I don't actually think they're going to get a season 2 reboot because like I didn't hear anything about anyone else watching it. And I've seen some of the characters from the show do other podcasts and they have not like tagged it, been like, oh yeah, like they said like, oh yeah, we did this little show with Keke. So they're like kind of talking about it in a past tense. So I don't think it's coming back.
Yeah, I don't think they were really proud of it either because they're like, this is not as good as the movie and it doesn't even hold up to it. So it's fine, but just not as good.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm sure the cast had like fun making it, but it was just kind of like, like they left you on a cliffhanger, but the cliffhanger isn't even that great of a cliffhanger for me to be like missed season 2. Like if it doesn't come, I'm like, what happened?
Yeah, because you're like, Tom Hanks ain't going to be in it, so why am I watching this?
Why am I watching it? And my favorite character was the veteran.
I met him.
No way.
Steel City Con. Because he showed up for... Because he was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah.
He was in The Hateful Eight. Like, he was in a bunch of movies like that. So, at the time, I had the book from The Hateful Eight, so I had him sign that. But, like, the night before, I just watched The Burbs.
Yeah.
So, it's like, that's my brother's favorite movie. Like, you know, and he's like, your, like, lines are, like, you know, one of his favorite characters in it.
Yeah.
And he goes... Tell your brother when you see him that, hey, Pinocchio, where are you going? I was like, that just... he, like, leaned in. He was super nice. But this guy's known for playing a villain.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, yeah, people hate me because I killed John Wayne. I killed him in a movie.
Yeah.
And he goes, I have a lot of people that hate me because of that.
Oh, he's one of my, like, favorites. Like, it was every... Like, I feel like I sound pretentious saying this, but, like, literally every line he delivers is just so funny. It's so funny. Like, just, like... And there's such it's the way he delivers them, like, and it doesn't even make sense. Because the way I'm going to say it is not as funny as he's going to say it. But just like when they go over to the house and the Great Dane like bum rushes out of the basement, and he's like, "You keep a horse in the basement?" Like, it's just stuff like that. And then like, you know, the neighbor that goes missing, but it's just in the hospital. He thinks he trains his dog to shit on his lawn every morning.
That is one of the best ones where
Yes.
he snaps over that.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I get it. Like, I've seen people that, if you've ever lived in a suburb, you know that there are people not just people get shot over it. That old man would have shot that guy for that.
Like, different times where it's gotten a little tough. Yeah.
But it's like, I like how it's relatable, but also like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah. So funny. And just the idea of like...
And that crazy neighbor that always has... I feel like he had to be the inspiration for like the American Dad character, the neighbor.
Yes. Yes.
It felt like, because he just, the way he acts and everything feels like him.
Yes. Yes. And I would say there's like his role in the movie, I would say the show tried to mimic that a little bit, where it was kind of like they had like a character whose like wife is like not in the show, but like they allude that she's kind of around, but like she's actually not, which is kind of like the movie where the neighbor is like constantly over at Tom Hanks' house, and it's like she's like where's your wife, but like it's like, yeah, she's like running groceries. It's kind of like she's never there, but she's not dead.
Who's the best character you've never seen on screen? That's a really good question when you think about it.
Best character you've never seen on screen.
Like for instance, in Frasier, there's Maris, which is the wife of David Hyde Pierce or whatever, like Frasier's brother. They described her so weirdly, and every time, like, because they said one time like she was really heavy, so they would describe her like so huge that no human could play her. Yeah. Then they said, oh, she lost a bunch of weight, but they would describe her as so frail that no woman could play her. So they said she would almost be a cartoon. Yeah. If you ever saw her, so they're like, just don't show her.
I think for me, it is in Martin, it is Cole's mother, because Cole's mom is portrayed as like this incredibly heavy set woman that is just like some, I think there's an episode like where Cole's mom is coming and like the house is like shaking or something. But like that's about, no, I would say that's about it, but that's like the one I can think of is like Cole's mom, because it's like I never wanted to actually see her, but I just loved like the references. It was like, oh, like mom's is outside and like I gotta butter her up to get her into the car. Like it was always like that, but like they never show Cole's mom, and I loved that.
Oh, there's like Howard's mother in Big Bang Theory.
Oh yeah,
you never seen her. It's just the voice off screen. Yeah, because they're like, again, if you've seen this woman, it wouldn't be as funny if you see her. Yeah. Yeah. So it's like, okay, that's even better that they let your like it's almost like reverse horror movies. Yeah. Where like they don't show you the monster because what you can imagine never beats what the monster looks like.
Yeah, and that's how I felt about like I was like, if they ever did like a Cole's mom reveal, and I could be missing something, someone's gonna be like, they actually did reveal her. I think it would just be disappointing to me. Yep. Because I would just be like, the person I built up in my head and my imagination is so funny that like whatever, and Martin Lawrence is hilarious, but like whatever he comes up with is just not going to fit my persona for that.
Yeah, it's like Charlie. Was it also like Charlie's Angels?
Yeah,
like Charlie. You always heard his voice, but you never seen him.
Yeah, you see him at best neck down, and you're like, he could be handsome. I don't know.
Or I was going to say Magnum PI. Yeah, you never seen the rich. They were supposed to show him. It was supposed to be Orson Welles, and he died.
Fair.
So they're like, well, it's best to keep him hidden. Yeah. Like then it started like they played it a certain way that the guy that he worked for was actually the groundskeeper. Okay. So like they kind of hinted that he was actually the one financing everything. It's weird. Fair. Magnum PI has two different endings.
Does it?
Yeah, because there's one ending where he dies and goes to heaven, and then the other one is he reunites with his daughter.
I think I only know about the heaven part.
Yeah, because there's one where it was like it was supposed to be he died, and then they're like, no, we want one more season, and they're like, okay, so they had to like, how do we back our way out of this? Yeah. Oh, it's all a dream.
Do you like? Is there like a part of like, I wouldn't say even not just sitcoms, but like TV that you wish could come back, but it just would never make sense in today's society?
Like, what do you mean?
Like the ridiculous plot lines of what is that beach show called with David Hasselhoff?
Baywatch.
Baywatch. Like those kind of plot lines, they don't make sense in today's society.
Yeah, because you're like cell phones. It's solved everything.
Yeah, everything is solved in 2 minutes.
I think so, yeah. Because there's like a lot of ones where like I see like people stranded on alongside the road.
Yeah.
You can't do that now.
Yeah.
With OnStar and AAA and all that stuff, like you can't do people stranded anymore unless you say there's no cell phone service.
Yep.
And most of the time it's a horror film.
Truly. Like there's a I'm saying a David Hasselhoff. It's called, what is it called?
Baywatch?
Baywatch.
Yeah.
There's
the
an episode,
movie I thought was underrated.
I didn't
It
see
gets
the
a lot of
movie.
shit for no reason.
I never saw it, but I just remember there was a Baywatch episode where I believe it's David Hasselhoff. He is paralyzed. And then it's like the writers were like, yeah, like people weren't feeling that because like he's the hunk of the show. He has to run. And then like, I don't believe they explain him getting out of that chair. He's just out of it.
He's just like Professor X. Like, yeah, he's back again.
Yeah.
We killed him off in the third one, but
Yeah.
he's for some reason he's back.
And people were like, and I feel like society was good with it. Like, because that's what they wanted. They did not want him in a wheelchair. And so then they were like, then he's not. And nobody was like, can you explain that? Like now people would be like, could you explain how that happened? They were just like, you know what? He walks. And we don't have to tell you why.
It's like when they replaced, it's like almost like in the Brady Bunch, they replaced the dog dying with another kid.
Yeah.
And they're like, what?
Yeah.
And they're like, there's a dog? Like, they forgot they didn't even know there was a dog?
You're just like, oh, okay. I mean, I'm going to go with it because, like, who am I fighting on this? Like, there was no discourse at the time. So, like,
Yeah. There's no fan. Like,
Yeah.
the only time people were actually pissed is if they canceled something.
Yeah.
And that's when they'd write in.
Yeah.
Or, like, there's a controversial topic. You don't even hear that anymore. Like,
No.
people just, like, they'll be on Twitter.
yeah.
And it just goes out in front of everybody, and everybody's like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I thought it was fine.
Yeah. What I think is crazy that there was a time where if, like, your favorite show pissed you off, you did just write in.
Yeah. Like, think about if Twitter existed when The Sopranos ended.
Like,
It would have blown up.
Yeah, I was like, the internet would have shut down.
Yeah. It would have just shut, like, it might have shut, like, the entire country down.
Yeah.
Because that's how pissed people would have been.
Yeah. It was just, it's like, sometimes, like, I watch a lot of older sitcoms and I'm just like, I miss just how, one, you could get away with doing so much because really, like, I think people were also in a place where it's like, if you didn't like it, you just didn't watch it.
Yeah. You were just like, oh, you don't like that show? Cool. There's another show on a different channel.
Yeah, like, it's like, oh, you don't like Martin? That's okay. Like, they're going to have, like, Friends on in, like, an hour. Like, it was just stuff like that. Now it's like, even if you don't watch the show, people have, like, very big opinions. And I'm like, hey, don't watch it.
One of my favorite shows growing up to watch was My Wife and Children.
Yes.
It was one of my underrated shows growing up.
Yes.
I was like, how come we're not watching this all
Yes.
the time? Like, this is the greatest show ever. And I always thought they were funnier compared to most other ones.
Yes, I agree. Is My Wife and Kids with the Wayans?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Because then there's the other one with, I don't remember. Their theme song is
One
like
with David Spade.
Love and Marriage is the theme song.
Oh, yeah. That's Married with Children.
Married with Children. That one's funny, but My Wife and Kids, I was like, no one gave that a fair shot. They had a great run, lots of seasons, but it's so...
It should have went longer.
Yes, it's so funny. And I genuinely think they could do a reboot. Everyone from the cast is alive.
So great.
Like, that's what I think of when I'm like, a show I love, I'm like, everyone's alive.
I don't know how I feel about the whole when he did Lethal Weapon. That was kind of weird for me.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, either do a rebooted movie or don't do this. Because
I
I don't like police.
Yeah.
Like, procedurals are fine on TV. I don't need
Yeah.
that for a movie series.
Yeah, I'm always like torn because I'm like, then you like Eddie Murphy, one of like my favorites. I'm like, his transition from doing stand up to doing like, I don't know, like SNL, and then it's like he moved into comedy movies, and they started moving into like kind of drama, like slowly transitioning. And I think there was a time when I was just like, yeah, but like, when's he gonna tell that joke? Like, like there was a movie that I don't think a lot of people saw. It was called Mr. Church. And he plays this guy who is helping this white family out next door because the mom has cancer. She's going to die. And so he's...
Oh, yeah, I think I've seen this movie.
Yeah.
That's where, the ending's like really sad.
It's really, really sad. And I remember watching it in like theater and being like, I love the movie. It's really sad. But then I was like, oh, he's just not, I guess he's not funny anymore. Like my mind couldn't like be like, oh, he's just playing a different role. But I was like, oh, I guess he's like not funny anymore. But sometimes I feel like some comedy star actors, like they do those roles and it doesn't transfer well. And then I feel like it ruins their careers a little bit. Eddie Murphy was not one of those people. But there are some people that I'm like, they do like a drama movie and you're like, why are you in here?
It's crazy. I think he's Oscar nominated.
Yeah.
For Dreamgirls.
Yeah.
Because that role, he killed it.
Yeah.
Killed it.
Yeah,
like,
I don't think he won.
He should have won that. I don't know, because it's weird, like, when you look back at the ones they were nominated for, like, why didn't they win? Then you look who they're up against, you're like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's other times you're like, I still would have gave it to him.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Who's your first stand-up that you ever heard?
It's going to sound bad. Bill Cosby.
No, that's not bad.
I
mean, it's bad because who he is now, but it's not at the time, like, we didn't know what was going on.
I remember the first stand-up special was Bill Cosby himself. My dad had it on tape, and like a VHS tape.
Yeah.
And like they would watch it because my parents liked clean comedy. Mm-hmm. Like, so they didn't have Richard Pryor.
Yeah.
They would have movies that had Richard Pryor in it, but it was like PG movies.
Yeah. He wasn't doing Richard Pryor.
Yeah, he wasn't like, they're like, we didn't like it when he turned dirty. And I was just like, I watched the documentary on that, and it's very interesting that you say that. Like it's very interesting when I heard why he turned that way, like to that style of comedy. I was like, that's why. Yeah. Because you liked it.
Yeah. My first stand up, and this could be seen as bad or not, was David Spade Long. Dane Cook. Dane Cook was the first stand up special I'd ever heard. A friend had it on her MP3 player that she downloaded from LimeWire, and I listened to it 3 times in one class. And that was like, I think I was in like 9th grade. And that was just that was the first time I even heard of stand up. I grew up in like a very religious family, so wasn't like exposed to things like stand up. So that was the first time I'd ever heard of it. And I was like, whatever this is, I want to do that.
Yeah. It was either that. We had a little bit of Saturday Night Live, like not too much because they thought some of it was too dirty.
Yeah.
Like the 70s ones are hit and miss.
Yeah.
Like you got the Wild and Crazy Guys, which isn't that dirty. Then there's other ones where it's like, yeah, you guys were pushing it then.
Yeah. Yeah. Dane Cook, and I remember it was also like, not that it wasn't like, oh, I discovered Dane Cook and everybody was like, really? Like, it was probably his most popular stand-up special ever. Was that
the one where he was like, they shot a guy, they thought he had a grenade and he was eating a pear?
Yeah, I think it's called Vicious Circle, and he does like the B&E, like wanting to do a B&E, and then there's the Burger King, like the BK Lounge. Like these are like things that people were quoting in my high school like all the time, and I had no idea what they were talking about. And then I finally got to listen to it, and I remember just like I had to put my head on my desk because I had to pretend I was sick because I was just laughing so much. And I was like, I want to do this forever. And I was in 9th grade. I was not doing comedy, but like I was like, I want this experience forever. So I would get on like YouTube when my parents would go to bed, and I'd turn the volume way down, and I would listen to anything. I'd like ear to the computer, like anything I could listen to.
My dad would listen to, like, he was a truck driver, but he would listen to like the clean stand up, like on Sirius XM.
Yeah.
So a lot of it was like older bits or clean, just nothing but clean comics.
Yeah.
And the one he really liked on there was John Panay.
Okay.
Like the one that he always talked about, like going to the Chinese buffet, like, you can't come in here you know.
Yeah.
I don't know if his comedy would land anymore. Maybe, I don't know. It wasn't too bad then. It wasn't like, I don't even think people were really that offended then.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, it falls in a weird category.
Yeah.
But I always thought he was pretty funny. My buddy showed me like early Bill Burr.
Oh, yeah.
When he was like talking about like making a sandwich, and they're like, where's the condiments?
Yeah.
They're like, they're over there. He's like, cool, why don't you fucking go over there and go get it? Like,
yeah. Yeah.
Like it was like early, like, I don't want to say early Bill Burr, but like earlier.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Bill Burr was one of the people that I like stumbled on like on YouTube, because I remember just being like, just even figuring out what it was called. Like I remember putting in Dane Cook, and then like the end of it was like stand up. It's like, okay, so this is stand up. So then I just put in stand up, and I remember a clip of Bill Burr came up, and he was talking about, because he's at the time was dating a black woman who he's now married to, and he was talking about how she dragged her fingernails across his arm, and it was like all this white flakes, and she was like, you're ashy. And I remember just thinking how like that was so funny to me. And then I was addicted. I was like watching comedy all day, every day. Anytime I could get like eyes on it, I was like, it's just, and then now I'm just like, I got to do it forever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I liked him. I liked Robin Williams. I liked
Yeah.
a lot of the '80s comics.
Yeah.
So like I watched. I guess Richard Pryor's Sunset Strip is in the '70s, but I liked him. I liked Eddie Murphy's 2 specials.
Yeah.
Like I watched a lot of those like in high school.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to think who else we watched. A little bit of Carlos Mencia. Carlos Mencia stuff, like, I don't know how much of it was original, though.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah.
I seen he's in trouble again. Tax evasion.
Well, that'll get you.
Yeah. Pay your taxes. They will find you.
They will find you, Wesley Snipes.
Yeah.
Like, that will happen for you.
Of all the people for it to happen to, I feel bad it was for Wesley. At first, I don't know. I had hate for Wesley at first because of Blade 3.
Yeah.
Like, I heard, like, how much a pain in the ass he was.
Yeah.
But then, like, he kind of, like, made everybody like him again after Expendables 3.
Okay. Yeah.
Because he came back to do movies and, like, even made fun that they're like, why were you in jail? We had to break you out. He goes, tax evasion.
Yeah. I, unfortunately, like, know nothing really about Wesley Snipes other than his tax evasion. But I
He was supposed to be Black Panther.
No way.
That's how Blade happened.
Oh.
The original idea was he was supposed to be Black Panther, but they said when they did the costume test on him, the costume just didn't look. They couldn't make it look like.
I mean, he's a thin, tall black guy. Like, thin.
They're like, we don't know how to make this look cool in the '90s yet.
Yeah.
So they're like, we got this other character called Blade, and he's like, yes,
I'll do that.
Yeah, and it was like he actually changed a lot of how Blade was.
Okay.
In the comics. In the comics, it was like he wasn't really a vampire. He was just a vampire hunter.
Okay.
And then they changed it for the movie, and they're like, oh, this is better. So we're just going to write it the comics like this now.
That's fair. I didn't know that. I feel like there are, like, people who will always have a different history depending on how old you are. And I was telling my boss that, and he's like, I don't believe that. And I was like, no. O.J. Simpson means something different to majority of the people I know. Like, I know O.J. Simpson as the guy who got away with killing, I believe, his wife. But there are some people who know O.J. Simpson as a great football player. There are some people, like my little sister, who knows O.J. Simpson as the alleged father of Khloe Kardashian. Like, it is kind of crazy. I'm like,
and there's people known from Naked Gun.
Yeah. Like, he's dead, but I'm like, he is infamous across so many generations. And it's so funny to think, like, this guy has lived many, many lives, and he means something different to so many people. And that, to me, is just so crazy.
Yeah, like Cosby, same thing. Where it's like, my dad still thinks Bill Cosby's funny.
Yeah.
But then it's like, what do you think about the other stuff?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, you know, I can only just say he's funny. That's it. Like,
yeah, and like now, like there are kids, like I know Bill Cosby from the Bill Cosby Show. I didn't even know a whole lot about his stand-up. I knew the Bill Cosby Show.
It's weird. Bill Cosby himself, if you watch that and then watch the first season of the Cosby Show, it's just that special.
Really?
Broken up into chunks. Like, there's
that
some
makes
of the
sense.
family like his mother comes to visit, and all the things that he said about his mother in the special, he says in the show.
Fair. Who's your favorite, like, I wouldn't say undiscovered, like that's not, like everyone's everywhere, but like who's your favorite, like, comedian that you feel like not enough people know about?
I know a couple local guys. It's like I want to shout out for those.
Actually, there is one local person. I don't even think he knows my name, but I genuinely think I've done 2 shows with him. I think he's one of the funniest people I've ever seen.
I was going to say Justin Powers from Morgantown.
I don't know if I've done a show with Justin Powers yet.
This guy is like almost like a one-man show. Like, once it starts, you're on a roller coaster the whole way, and it's just wherever this goes. If he can kill, like, in a room where it's like, you're like, I don't know if this would hit in a super, like, right-wing room.
Yeah.
No, he wins everybody over.
That's fair.
And it's even better because it's like he's going to play into what you think it's going to be, and then he's going to flip it on you.
Yeah. I would say, just for local comics, and there's so many of them, Blake Scala, I think he's so funny. I don't know anything about him, so I don't know if that's good or bad. But like I just don't know anything about him. I've only done 1 or 2 shows with him, but he is so funny. I just think he's so funny. I'm like, that's hilarious. Like, he wrote a joke, and I don't even really remember what it was, but I remember Jess and I both quoted it back to each other when we got home. And I'm like, she hates comedy. Like, my wife does not enjoy comedy at all, so she can, like, do a callback to a joke. Like, I'm like, oh, that was funny. Like, I genuinely think he's super, super funny. There was another guy who was here for a little bit. I believe his name was Jason. I think his handle's like JPKO. I don't remember. But he did a show at Brillo Box with me 1,000 years ago.
I wonder if it's Justin Peterson.
Oh, I think he's Japanese.
Jesse Fang.
No.
No, Jesse Fang's. No, he's
he's
messed
Chinese,
up on
I think.
that.
But he.
I know who you're. Maybe I could be wrong.
Yeah, he's very. I don't even know if he has any of his comedian stuff like on his profile. I believe he like left and went to Japan for a while, and now he does photography. But he did one show.
Louis Patron?
No.
Oh.
No, he did one show at Brillo Box, and I was on it, and I believe he went last, and he did a set that was so funny that after the show, people were like, but wait, like he had built, it just so happened that there was an Asian woman in the crowd, like who was not related to him, not by friendship, not by family, just she happened to be there. And there was one. So he's like telling this whole bit about his mom, and people are laughing, but they also believe like this Asian woman is his mom. White people. Yeah. And so people are cracking up, but they're also like kind of nervous. And then like he ends the show with like the craziest like roundup of that thing. And I was like, it was so funny. And then after the show, he's like walking around. People are like, oh my God, that's so funny. Is this your mom? He's like, I do not know who that woman is. And it was hilarious. Like, it was just so funny. And I like shouted him out everywhere I would go, because I was like, please book him. Like, not that he needs me to shout him out anywhere. He's hilarious. But I was like, please come back to comedy because you're so funny. It was just such a well-written 5 minutes that I've ever seen. I was like, that was the most cohesive 5 minutes I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's like comedy after a while. It's like there's a certain point you hit where it's like you have to, like, you're going to hit a point where it's like, do I want to keep doing this or do I want to live a normal life?
Yeah.
And you're like, it's going to go, like, you hit that certain point. It's like there's some people you're like, oh, why'd you leave? But you're like, I get it.
Yeah, it's like I give a lot of props to like Dave, because I'm just like, I like am like, I should have a house, and we should start a family. And then I'm just like, yeah, but like I want to do all these other things, and like Dave's doing everything at once, and I'm like, it can be done, but I'm like so tired right now. Like,
yeah, that's what I there's times where I'm like, you know, I just have this place.
Yeah.
But I'm producing shows, doing the podcast, and doing stand up.
Yeah.
And it's like one of these like
has to fall off kind of.
Yeah. And so for me it's like I may not hit mics as much.
Yeah.
But then it's like I do a lot of like hosting and stuff, so it's like that's my chance to try new material.
Yeah.
Or like you're on a podcast and you might throw a bit, like, you know, you might even come up with a bit on the podcast and you're like, oh, okay, I'll just use that later.
Yeah.
And just try it or something like that. Or sometimes I like to experiment at like hosting, because it's kind of like everyone's going to hear the same stuff if I'm doing it at the same venue.
Yeah. Is there like I would say maybe an art form within comedy you wish, or like a writing style you wish you could bring into your comedy that's not there?
So I can do impressions, and I'm trying to figure out how to work them in more.
I wish I could do impressions.
Like I've been trying to work. Like I had this whole bit about Nick Cage.
Okay.
Because I've been watching Spider Noir.
Yeah, is it good? I just was
it
telling her,
is
like, I can't wait to
like,
watch this.
Watch it in black and white.
Yeah.
I'll tell everybody that right now. Everybody, I switch between black and white. I'm like, don't do that.
No, I want to watch it.
Watch it in black and white always.
Okay.
Like some people are like, oh, because you can literally switch it on your remote.
Oh, I don't want that. I want to watch it as it should be.
Yeah, it's like some people are like, oh, I switched it into color when he's Spider-Man, but it's black and white when he's not. I'm like, no.
Watch it in black and white.
Watch it all the way.
Yeah.
Like I might rewatch it with the color just to see what the difference was, like to see how they, because what they did afterwards, they shot everything black and white and then recolored it later.
Oh, okay.
Like, but colored it in the style as if you took a black and white movie and colored it that way. Okay. So it has that it has that feel.
Oh, I'm excited. We haven't started it yet, but I'm like, I can't. As soon as I saw the previews, like, I'm gonna be all over this.
I just been watching the interviews of him, and I've been amazed because he's like, I just like to pretend I'm a spider that's trying to be a man. So he's like off camera doing all this weird stuff. Like he's watching the movie all curled up like a spider that you'd see in the bathtub. Yeah. And I was like, I just am amazed
Yeah.
that I can't even shit on him anymore. I'm just
Yeah.
amazed at how he just can be crazy, and
Yeah.
everyone's like, "Oh, it's genius."
I wish I could be more physical. Like, I tried it. Like, I just, like, my favorite comics, like, legend comics, it's definitely going to be, like, Cat Williams. And I don't, like, if you've ever seen me do, I stay at the mic. Like, I literally, and it's not intentional. I just forget to move. But, like, I stay at the mic, and then I'm like, oh, like, you should have, as soon as I get off, like, you should have moved. And like, I love physical comedy. I love people who are all over the stage. I love people who are acting it out. And I want to do that so bad. And I got a small glimpse of it at Bottle Rocket. I did a show for Jabuki Young White. I opened up for him a couple weeks ago.
Can I pause this
Yeah.
real quick? I'm so sorry. I'm supposed to get sound equipment from a guy. I just need to go swap it out real quick.
Oh my
in
gosh,
car.
go for it.
Yep, give me 1 sec. I'm so sorry.
Oh my God, do not be sorry. So
And we're back.
we're back. So yeah, physical comedy, I want to add more to my shows. And because like I feel like that's who I am in my like real life. Like I'm very like lots of hand motions, lots of facial expressions. Like my wife knows I'm just kind of bouncing around off the walls. And then when I do comedy, for some reason I'm very like stoic and like a matter of fact. And I'm standing there like this. And it's not like a nervous thing, it's just how it's always been. But I did a show at Bottle Rocket a couple weeks ago, and I just like wrote in this tag in the front, and it was like very like I was just like made the crowd move, and it was like very physical, and people loved it, and it was so fun, and I genuinely felt like that was the most myself I'd ever been on a show, and I just want to do that all the time. I just don't know how to incorporate it.
I have a joke I've been doing. I've been trying to get more like things where I can kind of rant a little bit.
Yeah.
Because that's where it kind of feels more fun, and I can kind of like,
Yeah.
it gives me kind of like, I can improvise more because I have like freedom to play a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's why it's like in my set, I have like a dating part of my set where it's
Yeah.
like just talk about wild things that you've encountered on dates.
Yeah.
And one of them is I had somebody.
Oh no.
It's a fun one to bring up when they're. I had somebody want to go huck toot in your mouth.
Oh God.
Weird stuff like that.
Yeah.
But that reaction from people gets different.
Yeah.
Because there's some people that are like, that's not weird.
Yeah.
And then there's other people that are like, that's weird.
Yeah.
So depending on how the crowd reacts, I get to double down either way.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I'm the weird one apparently I'm the weird one
Yeah.
because things have changed so much.
Yeah.
Or I'm like, these people are fucking weird, right?
Yeah.
Because people are like, well, you can't kink shame. I think there's some things you
I think
can.
there's a little bit of shaming that could be happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And and I was just, then it's always fun to be like, yeah, guys are never allowed to say what they're into.
Oh, truly. There's a joke that I've done for way too long, and it's about pegging. It gets the most laughs from men who are always sitting next to their dates.
Yeah.
Women, like straight dates. It like I'll do it, like the gays love it, but like it is funny to watch when I do the joke in what is predominantly like a heterosexual crowd. And the joke is about a heterosexual encounter, but it is, I look around, it's always the men with their wives, like like they love it.
Like
and
almost like, remember we had that talk? Like,
yeah, yeah. And then the wives are like, and I'm like, oh,
like I'm ashamed I did that.
yeah,
It did not.
yeah.
It did not have pleasant results.
Yeah. Like, and then I had one date where this girl, she yelled at me for kink shaming her. But I was like, is this a kink shame? Or I'm just trying to make sure I don't end up in jail. She asked if I would be into knife play. And I was like, knife play? And she brought Japanese.
See, these are valid questions to be to question. That's not kink shaming. That's a valid like, hey, what?
What would we do with that? She's like, it's just like she brought like a folded, like literally like butcher knives in a folded little tie, laid them out on my bar and was like, I'm into knife play. And I thought that was her. Like, I was just so naive. So I was just like, this is like a really cute way of like wanting to make dinner together. And I was like, yeah, like, what are we making? She's like, no, it's like, so like, you'll just give me little cuts throughout intercourse. And I said, with what? And she was like, a knife. And I was like, Yeah, no, I'm not going to jail for murder.
I'm like, first of all, like emo girls have evolved. Like that is the next stage of evolution where it's like you didn't go to you skipped the therapy part. You're supposed to get better.
And then I was like, where do you start with that? Like when you're like, oh, I'm into knife play, which I Googled, not that big of a thing. But I was like, where do you like? I didn't even know. I was like, I didn't do it obviously, but I was just like, in your like best scenario, where do I place the first cut?
Yeah.
Like she's like, no, wherever you want. I was like, no, because I don't know enough about arteries and veins. But
yeah, because this is one of those like, do you want it on a finger, like like little cut, like a little.
You want a paper cut?
Yeah, I can get you that, but I can't.
Got a box of index cards just waiting.
Ooh,
yeah,
damn.
she's like, and then she was like, if you're not comfortable doing it to me, like, I'll show you how it's done. I said, oh, hell no.
Yeah, I'm not watching cutting videos. I've seen it. I went to school.
Yeah.
I'm good.
No, bitch, you ain't cutting me. Like the alternative was like, I cut you and then show you how it's done. I was like, no, babe.
I didn't sign up for this.
No. And then she's like, you're kink shaming me. And of course, that stuff comes at a time when you're like, I'm kind of desperate for human connection. So you're like, what do I do here? I'm like, I really don't want to cut you with a knife, bitch. And she's like, I'm going to need you to do it. I'm breaking up with you. And I'm like, God, I'm in a rock and a hard place. I did not end up cutting her. She did end up cheating on me with, I guess, somebody who did cut her. So, I mean, win. I don't want to say win-win. Maybe win-win, but yeah.
Dang, that'd be too weird for me. Like I said, there's some things it's like I can't do this. I can't hurt you. This is just too weird. Like
it's too weird. And then it's like the next time I saw her, she had like bandages. I was like, and like I didn't want to ask about it, but I was like, because I'm like, well, if this happened, then you cheated on me. But then also like maybe she fell through a cheese grater. Like best case scenario.
We know what happened.
Yeah. Like my naive brain was like, I'm so desperate for connection. So I'm like, she must have got into a fight with a cheese grater.
I've been working on a bit where it's like, it comes out of desperation where it's like, you're willing to compromise what you believe.
Yeah.
Like men will compromise core instincts to be like, I need to like, I'm desperate right now.
Yeah.
But then afterwards you're like, was it worth it? It worth it? You sure about that?
Every time. That's like the funniest thing is like when you just completely have to lose like all your dignity, pride, and inhibition and everything you know about yourself because you're like, I have to bust a nut today. Like it's that desperate. If I don't bust nut, I'm gonna die. It's
either that or the mall gets shot up. Pick one. Like we're picking healthy options here.
I either do this thing that I never wanted to do or considered doing, or someone's gonna have to go. Like I'm gonna have to commit a crime tonight. Yeah, I've done some things that I've been like, and my poor wife, she hears about, like, I'm so casual about it. I'm like, so this one time, this guy showed up, and she's like, I don't care, and I'm like, yeah, but like, listen, because like I want to talk through it with somebody. Like, she's like, I'm good to never hear this again. I'm like, okay.
It's like I had to get it off my chest. I'm sorry. It's been bugging me.
It was like, yeah, like he said he was, and I'm not somebody, when I was, messing around with men, it was never that I was not gay. I was just like, I'm desperate and like, I don't have the time to like woo a woman today. So I'm going to need to like find a lonely man on Bumble. But it's just like, there were those times where I was like, now I'm in a trailer park that doesn't have electricity.
I've been working on this bit, and I don't know how to work on it because it's like when you're not like, I want to say when you're not around a lot of people, you're like, I don't know how this will work. But I've had this joke because it's happened to me a couple times.
Yeah.
Where I've said, I've had jokes where it's like, I'm attracted to lesbians.
Yeah.
Where it's like every girl I've liked, like it either comes out years later.
Yeah.
Or like, they're like, oh, how did you not know? And I'm like, I get it. I get it now. Like once I did a second thought, I was like, yeah, I know. Like like a guy was like, oh, hey, like if you think the bartender's cute, you should ask for a number. I'm like, no, man, that's not how this works. I know how this is gonna go.
Yeah.
And he's like, watch. So he asked the other bartender, and she goes, actually, she's in a relationship with the waitress over there. And he's like, buddy, I was not expecting that. I was like, I did. I knew it was coming from a mile away.
Even if I wasn't expecting it, I just assumed it was there. Yeah, I dated a long line of gay men, closeted gay men, who I thought were just really into Glee like me.
Yeah.
So it was a dead giveaway. It was like we're in the back of a car singing like the Glee version of Beyonce's Love on Top. And I'm like, this is my perfect man. And then like a year later, he's like, I'm gay. I did one time get pursued by a gay man in Mississippi. And I wish I remembered his name because I would call him out. We met at a wedding. And at the end of the wedding, there were all of these hydrangeas left over. Like, the wedding just didn't go as planned, and so there was just a bunch of stuff that didn't make sense. So there were buckets, and I mean buckets of hydrangeas that never got put out. So he collected all of the hydrangeas from all these buckets, and he gave them to me at the end of the night. And I was like, bitch, I'm getting married. Like, that is the sweetest thing a man has ever done for me. And so he was like, I think you're really cute. I think we should hang out. I'm like, love that. So I have these hydrangeas like in my bedroom, like everywhere. And I'm like, I'm living a princess dream. And then he calls me one day and he's like, hey, I want to talk to you about something. And I'm like, oh, like, marriage. So like, it's marriage. He wants to know my ring size. And I'm like, I don't know it, but like, guess. Petite. So he's like, yeah, so do you remember so and so from the wedding? Which there was a gay guy at the wedding, very like evidently gay. And I was like, yeah, like, he's so fun. He's like, would you want to hang out with the two of us? And I was like, sure. Like, it's Mississippi. Like, it has to be so hard to be a black gay man in the deep South. So like, of course, like, let's do our friend a favor. And I'm already like, our friend, like, because we're locked in. So like, let's do our buddy a favor. So I go over there and he's explaining the rules to me immediately. He's like, so I'm gay, but like, nobody knows. And this is my boyfriend. And I was just kind of hoping you'd be like my beard, basically. I was devastated. Like, devastated. I went over there in my Sunday best. I was like, I'm giving this man everything he ever wanted in a woman, except maybe a dick. And he's like, be my beard, that'd be great. Then I was like so offended. So I was like, fucking no. Like, I thought you were proposing to me. We met last week. This is Mississippi. Like, what in the hell? And then I went home. I got rid of all those hydrangeas. He felt like shit, as he should have. And then he gave me his Sam's Club membership.
I mean, that's a fair trade-off.
Yeah. Yeah. It was like, he was like, here's my Sam's Club card. Like, I feel so bad. And I was like, fine. But also I was like, dirt poor.
Because a part of me is like, I understand.
Yeah.
But then the other part's just like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah. I was like, it would have been fine had you presented that immediately. I would have said no, and I would have been like, we can be friends. But like, the way you wooed me was so incredibly romantic. Like, I had girlies jealous that this happened, and now I have to go back to them and tell them you're gay. Like, that was what really pissed me off, because like, I was at work like on my iPhone 4 showing everybody the worst pixelated picture of these hydrangeas, and I'm like, this is my current bedroom because this is my current man. And they're like, you're so lucky, Whitney. I'm like, guys, everyone has their chance. Everyone's gonna get their chance, girls.
That is yeah. If you're the single person and someone says that to you, you want to beat them with something.
Yeah.
Every single time.
Yeah.
Every single time. I can't tell you how many times I've heard, "Oh, you're just waiting for the right one," and you're like,
I'll kill you.
Like, I'll strangle you. Like, do you know how many times it's like, because now the thing I've run into is like, you do meet someone who's really nice, and you're like, oh, sweet, I want to get to know them, and then they're like, I'm just really busy right now.
Yeah.
And it's like. And then I've done that. I've had to be the one where it's like, I was too busy.
Yeah.
Like, I have way too much I'm trying to balance.
Yeah.
And you want somebody who wants you to lock in, and you're like,
I can't lock in today.
Yeah, I just can't lock in right now. Like, this is a busy time for me. I
was perpetually single for way too long. Like, to the point where it's like detrimental to my own relationship now, because I was so independent that like, I do just leave. Like, I'll just go to the store, or like, not even that. Like, I will just leave for hours, like, during the day. And Jess is like, where are you? And I'm like, oh, yeah, like, I forgot to tell someone who cares about me that I'm not home. And so, like, that has been, like, a problem. But when I was single, and I was single for a long time. Like, I just got married last year. I'm 32. I was single for most of that. The way people would just be so condescending to being, like, you being single. Like, the one line that would kill me. I could never be single. I'll kill you, bitch. I'll kill you.
I've had guys say that, be like, man,
I could never.
but like it's weird. Like when guys who will talk to you about being single, they will tell you the opposite of what they have.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you should go out with everybody, and it's
Yeah.
like, is that how you got married,
Yeah.
or no? I'm just curious.
Your
here.
high school
Like,
sweetheart, so everybody.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
And online dating sucks too because
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like, especially if you have ADHD, because then it's
Yeah.
like you match with somebody and then you'll get a like from somebody else. You're like, well, this person seems nice to talk to, and then
Yeah.
you start talk, and then you're like, oh crap,
I
we have
matched with
5 conversations going
Yes.
with 5 people that want long-term relationships.
Yes.
And you're like, I don't know, like,
And then you log out.
Yeah.
You're like, it's just best I don't talk to you guys anymore.
yeah, because then you feel bad because
Yeah.
it's like, I don't know if this is cheating. I don't know because it's
Yeah,
online dating
it's
now.
online dating. It feels like Love Island. Like I'm open, but then I'm also like I don't know. I'm kind of locked in with like door number 1. Like
Yeah.
I like that person the most. Yeah.
And it's like I've had ones where it's like, you know, they want a relationship right now.
Yeah.
And you're like, I can't, like, hold
Can we
up.
court, bitch.
Can we
Damn.
talk? Like, see if
Yeah.
we mesh first or something? And
Yeah.
then it's like when you want the other thing, it's just like, then it's like you're a bad person.
Yeah. Yeah. You cannot win on the dating apps, but then they're also like, what else do we got? Because if you meet it, like specifically,
Nobody goes out. Like,
nobody goes out. And from a man's perspective, which I don't fully have, obviously, but from a man's perspective in 2026, I cannot imagine it's easy to walk up to a woman because women are like finding their voices and they're like, yeah, I will not be fucking oogled by you, bitch. But like at the same time, they'll go home and be like,
Nobody looked at
nobody
me.
looked at me. But I'm like, there's a happy medium where like you can like let a guy shoot a shot and then like be like, hey, I'm not interested. And then like the man should walk away from that situation.
Right.
But unfortunately, like what happens is like a man walks up to a woman a lot of the times. It's like, oh, hey, like you look nice tonight. And then she's just like, yeah, like don't talk to me. It's like, oh, like I don't know if we had to be mean. I don't know. I'm going to get a lot of hate for that because that doesn't sound like feminism. But I'm just kind of like,
But I'm also like, guys, like, because I've also heard the opposite where guys like didn't get the hint.
yes.
And I'm also like, well, dude, you also need to get the hint too.
Truly.
Like, if she said no,
move on.
I go, hey, no problem.
Yeah.
Have a
move
nice
on.
night.
Yeah.
Move on.
And I'm like, my dating pool was very weird before like I got married. I wasn't like actively dating men, and I don't think I was like really actively dating women either. I was actively pursuing drinks from older men at bars. Like if I saw like if there's a convention or like I don't know, like an older like person show at like Heinz Hall, I'm going to the Warren. Like when that ends, I'm at the Warren because that's going to be filled with like elderly white men and they love a chocolate girly. And it's about oppression for sure. They're like, we weren't allowed to have that. I'm like, you can have it tonight.
I'll tell you what, I have I have the reverse where if I have the red beard, like I have a bunch of like women come up to me and like want to talk about the red beard. And it's like, why?
Why? Hey, I'm a human.
Yeah.
My eyes are up here.
Yeah. I've had a
Bitch.
couple people like, you know, can I touch your beard? And I'm like,
No, that's so weird.
that is insane. Like that you offered to, like that's your first going
Yeah.
move, and they're like, I just love your beard. I'm like, if I was to reverse
Yeah.
this question, it would not go well at all. Like,
Can I touch your highlighter? Like, you know what I'm saying? That'd be so weird. Can I touch your blush?
yeah, it's like,
Like-
can I sniff your hair? It's like, is that the same thing?
Yeah.
kinda.
Also, like, I'm a germaphobe, so I'm like, yeah, and like your sticky bar fingers cannot touch my face. Thanks so much, though.
Yeah, it's like no, I scrubbed all this. I don't even know if you want your fingers in here. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the red man beard versus the black girl hair. It's like, hey, don't touch it. Don't touch. Leave it alone. Let us have this. We'll explain it to you if you want to know about it. But
That's true. There's a lot that I didn't know about that.
yeah.
Like just because I grew up in the sticks.
Yeah.
So I remember I think I was watching like This Is Us, and they were explaining. I was like,
Oh.
"There's a different." I had to ask my buddy. I was like, "Dude, do you have to go to a separate barber?" And he goes,
Yeah.
"How dumb are you?" Like he's like, "How much do I have to?" He's like, "I thought we knew this. Like we've been hanging out for years, man." I was like, "I just never asked. Like I
Yeah.
just because I'm too good focused on having a good time to
Yeah.
even think of that stuff."
Yeah, like, where are you getting your haircut, man? Because I've not seen you at my places.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's really funny. Like, sometimes people sincerely ask me, like, how long does that take? Or like, where did you get that done? And I don't mind it as much. Like, I know there are some black women who are like, don't ask me any questions. And I think that's valid. But I'm like, I'll be like a little like, okay, like, sure, I'll give you that. But I'm just like, the idea to like touch somebody that you don't know, I feel like it's such a dangerous thing to do in 2026.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, like you.
The 90s, you were safe. Like,
yeah, the 90s, you could get away with it. I made a comment the other day, just like, about like how things have changed and like we have to accept the past for what it was. Like Jesus was white in 2004. We have to accept that. He was never obviously historically white, but like in America, Jesus was white in 2004. Like,
yeah.
And people are like, that's really offensive. I was like, it's just really a fact.
Yeah, people thought that, which it was like insane to think even then.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, you guys were from, you know where he was from, right? Like,
right.
There's no way that he would just be a white dude. It just doesn't make sense.
Like, he was white. I was like, I went to a church where like my Jesus was on a stained glass window with abs and long hair, and he was very, very pale.
I do like to I did hear one time somebody describe like they were. Do you ever see like when PC goes too far and people try to go too far back and you're like, I felt like you went too far back that you ended up back in racist territory.
Yes.
They were describing somebody who was of color. They described them as Hamish.
Oh.
Because Ham in the Bible is supposed to have darker skin.
Yeah.
Apparently. And I was like, I think you went too far back.
I think you did too much, babe.
Yeah, you went too far back into trying to be correct. You could just, it's fine. Like, I don't know how we feel about this. Like, that was a weird one.
I met a white woman who was, like, in hijabi, like, was wearing, like, the scarf around her head. And I was like, oh, cool. Like, what is your practice religion? And I'm not going to lie. Because she was just very, very white. So I was just like, also I was, like, in a mental hospital at the time. So I was like, I feel like free reign to start asking questions. So I was, like, asking her, 'cause she was one of my nurses. And I was like, so, like, what's your faith? And she's like, Christian. And I was like, huh? And I was like, what are we doing here then? She's like, well, I just feel like you should be allowed to do whatever you want. And I was like, ooh.
Part of me is like fair, but also like within reason.
Yeah, I was like, you should be allowed to do whatever you want, but like maybe don't.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's very like, and I feel like people are like that a lot now. Like where they're like, well, I should be able to say that. Like, what's a big deal to you? I'm like, I mean, like, yeah, technically you can say whatever you want, but like, technically I should be able to hit you whenever I want. Like, there should be consequences to all the actions.
Right. Chud.
Yeah.
Chud.
Yeah. It was like really weird.
I'm a firm believer in that guy. It's like, yeah, man, go ahead, say it. But if that dude knocks you out, I'm not going to say nothing. I'm just going to high five and if cops come, like, I didn't see nothing, just walk away.
Anything that happened here. Yeah. I always think like it was just like a weird moment where I was like, huh. Like, I was like, you would choose to, like, I was like, because like that's like predominantly tied to another faith. And she was like, yeah, but it's like they don't own it. And I was like,
oh, is that what we're doing with this?
I was like, wow, colonization is kind of crazy out here.
Yeah.
Y'all just like will do anything. Like, yeah, I just thought it was so odd. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, I'm like, the most I want to do is wear a cowboy hat in Pittsburgh without someone making a comment.
Yeah. But it was like, yeah, it was like that case of like we went too far to the point where we went like, it went from like, oh, we can do whatever we want. No one should be able to like police women's bodies to like actually that's kind of offensive.
Yeah. Like, I think you might get away with the poncho.
Yeah.
Sombrero, if you're maybe not together.
Yeah. Separate.
Together, you might run into some issues.
Yeah.
Unless, everyone else is cool.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. I feel like a lot of things, it's like some people reach too much.
Oh,
where it's like, it was a party for these people. Like, it wasn't meant to go for everybody. That's why everyone's... But then there's also like, why'd you do that, man? Yeah.
One of my favorite things in the world, and she won't watch this because she openly tells me she hates me, but my sister is white, blonde hair, blue eyes. Her husband, blonde hair, blue eyes. Their kids, blonde hair, blue eyes. One time I was having a conversation with my nephew, and he was like, Ninny, like, I want skin like yours. Like, I want to be dark like you. What do I got to do? And I was like, conception, you should have started over. And he was like, I was like, it just doesn't happen. Like, unfortunately, like, I was born black and beautiful, babe, and you're born like white. Like, I'm sorry. And he was just like, yeah, but I want to be black. And I was like, unfortunately, you can't be black. You're a white kid. And then out of nowhere, my sister goes, he's not white. And I was like, according to, she's like, he's not white. We're actually 50% Cherokee, which is like, why is Cherokee always the go-to for white people who believe they have it?
I'm like, I almost want to do the test just to see.
Yeah.
Because I'm just kind of like, I always said, like, as just a redheaded kid, like,
Yeah.
I hung out with my buddy all the time, and he'd invite me to parties, cookouts, or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, I blended in fine. I was like, maybe.
I was
Somewhere
like, down in there.
Is TikTok right?
Yeah. It was like the funniest thing. I was like, you're white. And she's like, no, I'm Native American. We're brown people. And I was like, girl, go get your land.
I was like, but I'm also like, when you say white and you're half Native Americans, like, there's a good chance that that's not a good thing. Like, that didn't come out of love.
Yeah, like she says it like proudly, and I'm like, if you're Native American, I think there was some assault that was happening. But also, like, her family are like generational, like, potato farmers, and I'm like,
yeah,
I would really, if your DNA is showing brown, you need to actually dig more into why that is. But yeah, she was like so offended. But I've run into that with like white women all the time. It's always like, no, I'm actually Navajo. I'm like, I don't think that could be happening. I don't think.
Yeah.
And they never pick like a Native American nation that you've never heard of that would make it sound like a little bit more legitimate. It's always, I'm Seneca, I'm Navajo, and I'm Cherokee. Those are their top three.
It's like you didn't even pick one that's in this area.
Yeah, truly.
Like, that's when you start really digging it back. You're like, wait a minute, they're not even from this area. Like,
I'm
this
like,
is,
huh?
yeah, like that's not even a tribe that was around here.
I was like, how'd you get up here? They're like, yeah. And like, they never know their history, but they know they're Cherokee. And I love it.
I remember my dad went to North Carolina, and they have a bunch of like reservations down there from like whenever Native Americans lived down there.
Yeah.
And he goes, we go to the one reservation, this guy's talking with a southern accent. Like, because you're in North Carolina. Like, yeah. And he goes, did they also have a southern accent back then? Like, dead serious to the guy. And the guy goes, I don't know, man. This is how I always talk. Like,
yeah.
But it was just kind of funny. Like, it is weird. Like, you're so used to expecting one thing, and then when you hear a different voice come out, you're like,
oh, okay. What I thought was the craziest cultural thing I learned when I lived in Mississippi was I worked as a pharmacy tech, and we'll just say, I'm trying Cannon because it's over there. We'll say Cannon. I would get like a patient come through the drive-thru, white woman, white husband, be like, oh, like for Deb Cannon, and they'd pick up their prescription, and then like 3 cars later, I'd get like a black family, and it would be also the last name Cannon, and I was like, it's so crazy that everybody here has the same last name, and then my pharmacist was like, that is race, that's slavery, like, that's why they have the same last name. And I was shocked because I moved to Mississippi from Pennsylvania, so I was like, huh? He's like, if you see a white family with the same last name as a black family, there's probably slave ties there.
That would feel very awkward in school. Because, like, you'd be, like, looking at me like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I was... Dude, I was born same time you were. I had nothing to do with this. Like,
I was like growing up here, it was like I never shared a last name with people, but like you share a first name with people all the time. But then down there, it's like, can you imagine sharing a last name with someone you're like biologically not related to?
Or it could be.
Or could be,
Again,
yeah, truly.
Not out of love.
Yeah, truly. And I thought that was so weird. And then I would like clock it all the time because it'd just be like, it'd be one after the other. Like, oh, so-and-so. And they, like, the white people would be in these, like, beautiful cars. And they'd have all this land down in Mississippi. Like, I mean, acreages of land. And then, like, the black people, they would have the same last name. And they would be driving, like, a humble car. And, like, they would just live in the city. And it was just, like, I was like, whoa. Like, I just, it was just such a weird, like.
Yeah, because the part of you is just like, why didn't you, like, I would not want to be lit next door to where all, you know, where we were just at. Like,
yeah, it's so
but
weird.
then I guess, like, back then you didn't really have the money to go anywhere else. So you're like, well, we're just going to go down the street.
One of the craziest things is, I think people would find this odd, is down south. There's tons of mega churches. Obviously, it's like a big thing for them. But where I lived in Mississippi, there were 2 big churches. So there was like Macomb Baptist Church, big white church, and then Summit Baptist, massive white church. Just down the street from both of those churches was Macomb Baptist Church, small building, all the black people. Same thing with Summit, small building, all the black people, and the big church actually funds those smaller churches. Isn't that crazy? I thought that was wild.
I was like, why wouldn't you all just have the same church?
But they don't. That's just not.
I was
how
like,
they
do you
want it.
understand? One's more fun to go to than the other.
Yeah.
Like we have a bunch of guys standing around, and the other ones are a lot more
They're
louder.
having a good time.
Yeah, I feel like I'm going to go to that one.
Yeah,
because I feel like even afterwards, like the picnics are going to be better.
Yes.
Everything. I never understood like hate for that because I'm like, more fun when we all mix together versus
the
yeah.
split fun. The one side is not fun. I'm just getting through it. And they would do the funniest thing. They would do once a month. They would do like a showcase, and they would invite like the smaller black Summit Baptist Church to the big Summit Baptist Church, and they would like lead worship, and they would lead like the sermon, and like most of the mega church would not show up. Like, yeah, because it'd be in the bulletin. So it'd be like, next week we're hosting Summit Baptist on this road, and then like most people wouldn't show up, and then they would come and they would.
I would get in trouble because I'd be like, "What? This is the one time you guys can't sleep?
Truly, yeah.
This is the one time you guys can't sleep in church that you actually will want to pay attention."
Yeah, and I remember going and being like, "Dude, this is the most lit church has been. This is the most fun I've had in this church." And then, like, I just remember everybody was just sitting there, like, they were waiting for it to be over. And, like, even, like, the kids were ushers that day. Like, it was a full, like, the black church came in and did church for them. So they were, like, there's black ushers doing and, like, everything. And it was so great. But, like, it also felt like a concert that you were forced to go to. Like a school assembly. That's how, like, that's the vibe it gave. Because after church was over, they were all, like, in the hallway, like, saying goodbye to people, and people were like, very good, very nice, but like you could tell they just didn't have a good time.
Yeah.
Like, and the pastor is like not progressive, but he's trying to be because he like wants to be a YouTube pastor. So he's like, hey guys, if the spirit moves you, get up and dance. And it's like, hey, the spirit will not move them.
I like, say that next week. You ain't gonna say that next week. You'd be like, sit down.
Guys, everyone was like standing when I was talking. I hated that. Can we sit? Yeah, he's the only one. Like he's in the front, like rocking it, and it's very performative, but no one's following suit. And
yeah,
I'm like,
he's definitely dancing the same type of dance that he would do at a wedding.
Yeah. And his wife is just like, I would dance, but like we have like 1,000 kids that I have to wrangle.
I have to keep the kids from running out and stuff. And
I would, but I can't.
They are always the worst kids.
Yes.
Because they're pastor kids.
Yeah.
They're preacher's kids, whatever. Every person I know that was the son of like somebody who had position in any type of religious organization, their kids were heathens.
The worst type. They're like, I will never get in trouble.
And they would always be like, not my kid. My kid would never. And I'm like, they would like do that whole little angel pose for like a second.
Yeah.
And the horns would be back. And I'm like,
it would be like, my kid this is so crazy. I dated a guy whose dad was a pastor in Mississippi. They named him Alfred Omega. Yeah. Alfred Omega.
There had been so many Batman jokes I'd have thrown his way, like everything, like Master Wayne, bring me my soup.
Yeah, it was so funny. Like, and I'd always make that joke from Baps, like, Alfred, who's Alfred? Like, Batman's homeboy, a reference he didn't get. But like, I just remember that was like a flex, and at the time I was like hyper Christian, so I was like, yeah. But I was like, what's your name? He's like, I go by Al, but it's like actually Alfred. You'll never guess my middle name. And I was like, yeah, I probably won't. And he was like, Omega. Alfred Omega. And I said, I got to get the hell out of this state.
Yeah, his nickname could be Asshole.
Yeah. I
always thought it was funny when they bleep asshole out of things. They always bleep the whole part.
Yeah.
And I was like, why is that the worst part of that sentence?
Yeah.
I guess them also be like, you hole. I guess that wouldn't make sense either.
Yeah. But still, Just give it to us. I do feel like the censorship sometimes now. I'm like, it's 2026. Like they've heard it.
Yeah, that's
Like-
what I feel like. I don't know how I feel because it's like new sitcoms have that problem. Like,
Yeah.
how do you compete when like any other show can say whatever?
Yeah, anyone streaming is not
Yeah, like
censoring.
like Paramount Plus. I was thinking like, oh, this is just going to be like more shows.
Yeah.
But then my parents were like, we can't watch half these shows because they're all like TVMA,
Yeah.
and it's
intense.
yeah.
Like, actually, it's crazy what they can... Like, streaming has, like, 0 rules. Like, I stopped watching it, but I was like, oh, let me watch the new season of Euphoria.
Oof.
And then I was like, oh, they were just putting naked people on TV.
Yeah.
This is just naked people with a kind of okay script.
Yeah, Euphoria was one of those shows. I'm like, should we all be watching this? Because this is about high school kids.
Yeah.
Like, at what point is this also like, you're not going to tell me Hollywood's not weird now? Like, when you can't, once you do that and be like, yeah, we're not on the Epstein list, you're like, your
because,
movies say different.
Yeah, because like at the end of the day, these are adult writers writing it, fantasizing about things that happened in high school.
Well, I was watching, did you ever watch Dickie Roberts? The David Spade movie? Like, he was a former child star, and he's trying to get this big part, but he never had a childhood.
Yeah.
So he goes to live with a family to see what it's like to be a kid. But, like, there's a lot of things in there where he's doing stuff, like, in front of the kids.
Yeah.
Or, like, things are happening in front of the kids. It's like, that would not fly at all today. Like,
No.
that guy's going to jail, straight up.
Yes.
Oh.
It's crazy. Like,
Yeah.
You're like, huh. Like when someone just broke down to me, like I watched a lot of like music podcasts, and someone broke down the Sabrina Carpenter music, and I was like, oh, like it's catchy, you know, like whatever. And someone's like, no, Sabrina Carpenter music is like just about like child pedophilia.
Yeah, it's all, like, very kinky.
And I was like, oh, because I was under the impression that it was just like, I was like, it's just kinky, which is, you know, whatever. But then they were like, no, like it is about child pornography. And I was like, and then I like listened to 2 songs and I was like, oh shit.
yeah, when you think about it, you're kind of like, well, she's acting like a very innocent
Yeah.
little, so I'm like, yeah, I could see where someone's going to look into that the wrong way.
Yeah. I was like, who can we listen to? What can we watch without feeling like we're implicated in any way?
Yeah, I went out with somebody that they were into, like, yeah, treat me like a little girl. And I was like, nope.
No.
This is too weird for me. This is...
No.
I'm like, I'm sure you'll find somebody that's... And of course she did.
You will find somebody.
Multiple people, I think.
Yes.
But also I was like, yeah, I'm not... That's just too... It's too weird.
Too weird. I think I've just been... I mean, I've always just been built kind of like a linebacker since I was a kid. So men have never really come to me with the fantasy of like innocence. Because they're like, look at you. You couldn't be innocent. But... yeah, no, I get it. I hear it all the time from men. Like, I don't know, like she just gives like young schoolgirl vibes. I'm like,
Yep, nope.
what do you mean by that? And I know what you mean by that. Don't do that no more. Don't say that out loud. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like it's...
I start to see it now, and it's like the crush is starting to be like, oh, it's starting to fall apart. It's like, I'll wait till you turn 30. It's fine. This is different.
Yeah. The youngest person I ever dated, she was 21. I was 26. And that's not the craziest age difference, but I just felt like we have nothing in common.
Well, I went to this. There's like a band that plays like country music covers and stuff,
Yeah.
and they were like doing like, oh yeah, you can come. I'm like, my buddy goes, go out and try to meet somebody.
Yeah.
Okay, I go there. Of course, it's Christmas time, and there's one single person there.
Yeah.
That's it. Everybody else is couples.
Yeah.
So I eventually like build up enough courage to go talk to this person, and we're having a good conversation, whatever. And then I make a reference to something, and it goes right over her head. And I was like, how old are you for a second? This girl was 10 years younger than me.
Oof.
And
I mean,
I
it's
was
not
like-
like adults are adults, I guess.
Yeah,
but it's
you're
just-
both adults, but it's also kind of like, if we're
What are-
together, everybody's going to think this is what this is.
Yeah, and like, what are we supposed to talk about?
Yeah, and it's like, there's some people, it's like there is some people, like, you do meet people that are like I don't want to, how do you word it? Like old souls, I guess.
Yeah, like there are people who are like in younger 20s or mid 20s who definitely have a better outlook on life and like they're not like doom scrolling on TikTok all night. Like they do have a sense about them, but they're hard to come by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's usually like if you're a guy that's has more in common with a 23-year-old than like your own age group,
your own age, yeah.
then like you have problems that you need to go look into.
Do you?
But if
feel
you're
like,
a younger person that has that mentality, hey, you're ahead of the game.
Yeah. Do you feel like, how old are you?
I'm 33.
Okay. Do you feel like just into women?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you feel like you would date a woman who has kids? No shame towards
I've tried.
them. Yeah.
I've tried, and I find out that once you hit a certain age and you date somebody that has kids, they're either going to flick that switch on or not.
Yeah.
And I feel like the switch was on, but then I keep meeting other women that are like, I'm at this age now. I can't have, if I have kids, there's a good chance that their kid's going to come out messed up, and I'm thinking like, which hurts me because my mom was 41.
Yeah, I think like people have I was just telling like my wife this because we don't obviously have to worry about a biological clock, but I'm like, I know that people are like 35, but I'm like, the science has changed since then. People are having kids like way into their 40s and 50s. Like what we thought was so old, like if you watch like Father of the Bride, Diane Keaton is playing a 37-year-old woman, I believe. She looks to be about 60. Like we do not look like that anymore. Like our bodies just aren't like that anymore. So I'm just like, you can't actually have a baby if you take care of your body like way into your 40s. Like way.
Like my mom was telling me, she was like when because I was told her like, there was that YouTuber story where they had the abortion and everything when they found out the kid had Down syndrome.
Yeah.
Which again, whether you're for or against, is very iffy territory. Because it's kind of just like, there was nothing really wrong. And they're like, oh, well, Down syndrome. I was like, yeah, but I've seen so many on Facebook that look so happy. And you're telling me that kid's not not living a good life. Yeah. So it was like kind of iffy territory for me.
Yeah.
But she was like, well, that got presented when you were born. Like when I got pregnant, they were like, hey, you're older. Good chance your kid might have Down syndrome. We can do the test. And if he does, we can end it. And my mom's like, well, if he does, like, we're still going to take him home. Yeah. And they're like, well, then there's no point in us doing the test then. And I was like, really, Mom? So now I don't know whether I like, if I like certain things because do I have a small bit, like a little bit?
He's like, do I got like half an extra chromie? Like,
yeah. Yeah. Just enough to be like, explains the comic books. Yeah. Explains comic books.
Yeah. It is like funny. It's like, I don't know. Cause I have friends who are like my age and are dating and they're always like, oh, everybody has kids. And even like me, like I've dated women who've had kids. Yeah. And I just kind of felt like it got to a point where I was like, well, it's like kind of the territory a little bit. Like you get to a certain age, like people have had like whole lives and they've had different relationships and they just have kids now. So it was just something like I fully accepted. I was like, I mean, Jess didn't have kids, but like, no, I've dated women who've had kids because they're like, well, I was married one time and then I had kids and now I'm divorced and I'm into women.
And like adoption, everybody's like, oh, adoption's like an option. And I'm like, yeah. And then I watch the adoption videos on Facebook where like you see like them reunited with their birth parents. And my buddy, I won't throw a situation out there, but he had an interesting point because he's like, I put in all the effort of raising this person. Yeah. He goes, and they want to get to know the person that never did anything. Yeah. And they get to have and he's like, so I get where his point was. Where it's like, I did all this work, and then this person gets to step in and be like, yeah, I'm a great dad, right? Like now that you've had time to mature and grow without the hardship or responsibility of having a child. Yeah. And then it's like, but then I hear like the stories in England where like, like it was like, they're either hardcore Catholics up there. Yeah. So it was like, well, you're not bringing shame into my house. Kick this kid, Yeah. And like, there's kids like, I didn't even get a chance to know my parents because my grandparents. I had and I look at them, I'm like, well, shows how much your Christian love went. Yeah, it's very limiting. I had this friend in Western Psych. Shout out to my Western Psych people. He was adopted, and I'm adopted, and it was very interesting because he
we had very different. I'm black. I was adopted by white people. I figured that out very quickly. He was just redheaded, and his family was blonde.
Oh,
And-
see, that's an easy, like, you can kind of, like...
yeah. Oh, like your great grandma had red hair. Like, so they never told him that he was adopted because they felt like, because their reason for adopting was like they couldn't have any more kids. They wanted more kids, but they wanted a white kid who could like pass in their family. Like they didn't want people to ever guess like what was going on with him.
Oh, see, I'm one of those ones where it's like, no, be straight up and honest, because I have like family where it's like things happen, people didn't talk to each other, and then you don't know that. Well, now you're out in the bar somewhere, and now it's the night where your guys are playing that game of like trying to get to know each other. You may have gotten drunk and made out a few times. Then you find out you're cousins. That's a fun thing to find out. It's never happened to me yet. But if it does happen, I'm going to kill myself. That's going to go down.
Like truly, like it was just a weird thing because I was like, oh, I didn't even realize like it was even a privilege to just automatically know like I was adopted. But he's like, yeah, like they never told me I was adopted. And he was like, but I always had the sense because I was like so different. And he said like what had really messed with his brain was how different he was from his dad, because his brother and his sister were so much like his dad. And he just wasn't. Like, they were all into sports and athletics, and he is a chef, and he was into art stuff, and, like, his dad hated that about him. And then, like, finally, he had, like, well, not finally, but, like, he had a full mental breakdown, and then, like, his parents, when he was a full adult with a career, were like, you're adopted.
Oh, yeah, so let's just shatter this man's brain.
Yeah, and literally that's what happened. Like, it just destroyed his world. And like then he was like, but like I knew, but then I didn't know. I just felt like I was being unreasonable. And I was like, oh yeah, like I guess like my parents sat me down to tell me I was adopted, and it was a very short conversation. Cause like just so you know, and I was like, yeah, like I get it. Yeah, like I'm young, but I can piece like 2 + 3 is not 6.
Yeah, you can also just do the. I kind of figured.
Okay, like I didn't think it was an anomaly. Also, you adopted 8 kids of color. I wasn't assuming you were popping out the darker ones. So like I was
if
like,
we did, we'd have to be like, there's a lot of distrust between you, mom, and you and mom, right? There's a lot of distrust here. I feel. Like.
I was like, either I'm adopted or you are really into dark black men, like dark. Because I'm dark, so I'm like, you're really into something.
I did read like a beautiful story I seen like on MSN, like when you're bored at work and you see the little tab. And it was this woman, she wrote that, she said the first genuine act of love she ever experienced, she was adopted from a white family, and she said her sister actually learned how to braid her hair.
That's so sweet.
And she said that act, because she's like, it wasn't perfect, she didn't know what she was doing, but she was determined to learn how to do it correctly, and she goes, it made me feel pretty.
Oh, I love that.
And I was reading it, I was like... And everybody's like, you good? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. The allergies. Like, allergies will get me, man.
Like, they got to do the HVAC or something. Yeah.
I guess, like, she wrote a book and everything about it. I was like, I love reading, like, that compared to all the violence.
The violence?
Yeah.
I saw a video of a little girl. She was adopted out of India, but she was adopted at an age where she was, like, old enough to kind of have memories of India, and they took her out to an Indian restaurant so that she could experience like her food again, and like the joy she had to see like her food, I was like my heart was like breaking. I was like, oh, I can't help it, because I'm like, we're it's really hard because like we want to adopt, but I'm also very anti-adoption, just because I do think there's some things in there that aren't worked out and will never be worked out because it's not a priority of the country. But like it is, I was just like, oh, like this poor girl, like she was just so happy, and I was just like, she was like moved to America and got a casserole. like that had to be so weird.
Yeah.
She had tuna noodle casserole first day one.
I remember my mom she was a housekeeper, and she cleaned house for people, and they were adopting a girl from China.
Yeah. And
like how much effort it was. And I didn't know what the big deal was. Yeah. I was like, why can't you just adopt a kid here?
Yeah.
And then people were like, well, in China, little girls don't really last long.
Yeah.
Like they, I was like, seriously? And they're like, again, that's probably years ago. I don't know if it still happens, but if it does, yikes.
It was a very big Christian movement.
Yeah, which is weird to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, who cares?
Yeah.
Like, be happy you can have kids.
Yeah.
Like I look at it that way. Like,
Yeah. No, my parents were greedy. They had 4 of their own, and then they were like, yeah, we'll take 8 more.
yeah, my parents had 3 boys and 1 girl, all in the 70s.
Oh, wow.
And then the 90s come.
They said, let's do something crazy this year.
Yeah.
This decade could be up for us.
Yeah, and my dad always tells the story, or my brother will always tell the story of how he found out, because he's 22 years older than me.
Yeah, I was going to say, they have to be like 20 years older than you, right?
Yeah. So he goes, hey, you're having another brother. My brother's like, you're messing with me. He's like,
Yeah.
you're serious? And he's
I'm,
like, yeah. He goes,
out of the house.
how does that happen?
Yeah.
And my dad's like, well, when 2 people love each other very much. And he's like, that's not what I meant, but like,
yeah. That was kind of like my life. Like, I was the youngest for like a hot second, and then my parents sat me down to be like, hey, we're adopting 3 more, and I just kind of was like, hey, like, let's stop collecting these kids, because we were at 9, and they were like, we're gonna get 3, and I was like,
but then they get assistance. Like, do families get assistance for that?
yeah, no, like my family adopted fully on a cash basis. Yeah,
okay.
it wasn't very much a loving situation as much as it was a transactional one.
Yeah, I'm one of those ones where it's like, if I want to take in a child, like,
yeah,
that child's gonna be, I've signed up. I've thought about it. Like, he's like, I'm
Yeah.
a single guy. Like, it'd be kind of cool to like,
Yeah.
but then you're like, I have hard enough time managing my own life.
yeah.
I would have to be with somebody in order to take
Like,
that
just to
responsibility.
split it. Yeah, no, theirs was very transactional. Outside of like all the kids they adopted, out of all 8, cognitively, and I'm not shitting on any of them, well, some of them, but like cognitively, I would say I was probably the most like closer to like, I guess, like a typical kid.
Mm-hmm.
But the rest of them came with like learning disabilities or physical disabilities, and because of those things, when you adopt kids who have any type of like what the government would see as issues, they pay you.
Oh, okay.
So they were like, well, it's kind of like a cash cow, because it's like, we can get these kids, we can get assistance, and we also get like clout. Like, we were on the news a lot when I was a kid, which was like really weird.
Well, at least you come from in front of a camera.
Truly, I'm always show ready. I've been show ready for like since the 1st grade.
That's why you're like, podcast? Pff, I got this.
I'm like, I'm
Nope.
going to do a podcast because it's been too long since anyone's asked me a question. But yeah, I remember like when I was like in 1st grade, like the Erie News came to our house to like talk to us about like,
Oh, you're from Erie?
originally, yeah, I'm from Erie.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I remember the Erie News came, and they were in our dining room, and they had all these lights everywhere, and I was sitting on like my adopted mom's lap, and they were like shooting this story on like this family out of Wesleyville who adopted all these crazy kids. They just can't stop themselves, and people were like, I remember going to school, and like my teachers were like, you better know how fucking lucky you are.
You're like, jeez.
I was like, yeah, I think I'm okay. I was like, okay. And like, I would get that a lot. People like, they sacrifice their whole lives for you guys. It's like, they're like getting paid by the government.
Yeah.
Like-
You're like, chill. Like,
Chill.
it's not as not,
It's not what you think it is. And also, they're hoping one of these black kids will learn how to play basketball. So like,
Yeah, it's like, we're rooting for the blind side. Like,
truly, they were showing us like, this could be you guys. We got like people thought, like, I didn't grow up wealthy, like, not even close, but we had a basketball court in our side yard, like a sanctioned basketball court with a Penn State hoop, just like wanting us to go play basketball.
hey,
at Penn
if
State.
anybody wants to do it, we tried the other ones. They're not
Yeah.
good.
And which was so funny. So they would like make us go out and like throw like free throws and like play games of basketball all day, every day. And it was just like the worst thing in the world. Like, we never wanted, none of us played. Like,
Yeah.
none of us went off to play.
Little did they know they were sowing the seeds of comedy.
Truly. And I'm like, and now it's like in all of my skits, but I'm like, and like I did a set the other day where I was like, yeah, like my parents put a basketball court in our yard so that we would be dedicated to the game, but then like never got us a lesson. And then people were laughing, and I was like, and that's how I don't know anything about basketball, because I said lesson. Like, I never got a basketball lesson. Like,
Yeah, I don't even know what you call it.
yeah,
'Cause-
like coaching, one-on-ones, like no like professional athleticism, like things were happening. It was just like, do basketball. They just were like the way, I guess, like white people think like black people can play sports. Like, naturally, they're just like, get out there and do that black thing y'all do.
And you're like, no.
Yeah, we're like, we'll just lay out on the court. Like, we would just go to the court and, like, lay down. We played Spud a lot.
What's that?
Spud?
Uh-uh.
Spud is so good. So Spud is, like, you stand in a circle, you have a ball. We usually only had a basketball, which is kind of crazy. And then you would throw the ball in the air, and I don't know, you call, what is it? Like, you call Spud, and then everyone runs. Like, so you throw the ball, like, way, way, way up in the air. Somebody has to catch it. So then everyone spreads out. So once the person who has the ball catches it, they yell Spud, everyone stops moving. You only have 4 steps in any direction to slam somebody with that ball. And so you have to spell Spud on your way out. So, like, if it's you and me, I have the ball, I'd say S-P-U-D, like the biggest jump of your life. And then I have to hit you with that ball. You are not allowed to move. You can duck, you can jump. You are not allowed to run. You can twist. And if I hit you with that ball, you have an S. And then you're the next person to catch the ball. It's treacherous. I was hurt many times, but it was one of the most fun games we ever played.
Yeah, especially when it's like you just got into a fight with a sibling. You're like, you want to go play Spud?
Oh, I was like, I'll be the first to catch. Always. I was like,
I'm launching this right at your face.
yeah, I'm looking at my little sister. I'm like, I'm coming for you. And she's like the youngest with the tiniest legs. I'm like, you won't get far. Because I would play like an idiot, like, well, unfairly. My brothers would like toss it so high in the air so that you would have so much time to run. I'm literally like, Spud.
Yep.
And I'm like, I will take my 4 steps towards you because I'm going to slam you in the face with this. Like, yeah. It was one of my favorite games as a kid was Spud.
That's like my closest brother in age was 13 years older than me.
Yeah.
So like he would just be like turn off all his game was like turn off all the lights and come find me and stuff like that. Worst games you could play because like I don't like being scared.
Yeah.
I don't like being scared at all. So like even my older brother would do that. Like he'd shut the lights off or come through the basement and scare you.
Oh, that would give me like
the one time I was laying on the couch like this and there's a basement door right here.
Yeah.
And my brother creeped up the stairs and had a mask on his face and went brrr. I was like, my soul left my body. Yeah. My dad's like, why are you freaking out right now? Like you'd see him in a mask. And I'm like, someone literally just popped up
out of the basement who wasn't supposed to be there in a mask that I've never seen. So yeah, I'm scared.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, my brothers were like that. Like my one brother, when he had to babysit, because he was like way older than us, his idea of babysitting was to scare the shit out of us so that we'd have to go to bed. Like we'd have no choice but to want to be in our own beds.
Yeah.
We had this, I feel like I say this and nobody knows what I'm talking about. We had this thing called a Florida room. Do you know like what I'm saying when I say Florida
room?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like it was like a tile room or like okay.
Yeah, and it had like the curtains. I
never got why those existed.
They were horrible. They're hot, they're cold, they're the worst rooms.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we had this thing called the Florida room, and that's where we used to watch TV for a very long time, like kids TV. And one time he was like I'm pretty sure he just called the house, but he like answered the phone and was like, "No way. No, I mean like I'll tell them, but like it's not like I don't know what you want me to do about it." So he hangs up the phone and we're all like who was that? And then he's like, "The cops just called me. So there's a killer like out there and he's like specifically killing kids." And we were like, "You're lying." And he was like, "No, like I did see something earlier in the backyard." And we're in the Florida room, so it's all windows. And we're like, what should we do?" And he's like, "I mean, I'm going to bed because if he can't see me, he's just going to assume we're not here."
Mm-hmm.
I was traumatized for a very long time. Like most of my siblings got over that. They were like, he was just being an asshole and like we're fine. But like I woke up the next morning like paralyzed in bed. I was like, I cannot move from my bed. Like I can't move. Like I had to wait till the sun fully came up and somebody else was walking around before I could be like, okay. But like my muscles were all tight. I was like, "So that killer, did they catch him?" He had no memory of this joke. He was like, "What?" It's like, okay.
He was like, "You bastard. Like I had sleep paralysis the entire night."
I slept with a steak knife under my bed.
Yeah.
All night because I thought I was going to have to fight for my life, you asshole. And he's like, "Yeah, no, just Didn't want to be around you guys.
Yeah, imagine explaining that to the parents. Like, no, you don't understand. Like, they don't forget the joke. It's like, great, thanks. So now I'm in trouble.
Yeah, and then like I would go to therapy and say that's my therapist, and she's like, therapy, they're very validating, so they're like, no, like that seems like really rough, and like that would have really scared you. I was like, could you explain that to my parents?
Thank you.
Could you explain that to them?
I was explaining something to my therapist, and I was like, oh no, it's just like things that my brothers been doing. Right? Well, that sounds an awful lot like bullying. Yeah. And I was like,
what?
And then like you go and tell them, and they're like, you're just being a pussy, and I'm like. So you're validating me? Like, I'm getting validated from both ends, negative and positive over here. Like,
oh my God. Like, I would tell my therapist, like, the craziest stories from my childhood. And, like, there was, like, a time where I was trying to reconcile with my family. So I was, like, I would go and tell her something. And then I feel like I got it out so I could say it to them. And I remember them being like, the response was, are you in therapy? And I was like, yeah, why? They're like, you need it because the way you're remembering things is crazy. And I was just like, I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna kill him. Like, it's just crazy.
I think everyone does that when they first go to therapy. Like, they try to like open up to their family about it, and their family's just like, no. And I'm like, you guys don't go, do you? And they're like, no, we don't need to.
We don't need. We don't need to, and we have no memories of your childhood.
I'm like, really? Because we're all heavy drinkers here. I think we all. Like, do you understand what therapy is? It's cheaper.
Hey guys, we have an issue. No, my parents were definitely like, my mom did this thing where she said sorry, but it was like so like, it was like sorry because I want you to shut the hell up about this.
Oh, did you ever get the sorry? I said the Jewish mom, which is that whole I'm sorry I was such a bad parent, and you're
all
like,
the time.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, if it was so bad, I'm like, okay. I'm just trying to get us to a point where, like, we can have an adult relationship.
Yeah, that's when we're like, yes, Mom, I understand. You didn't put locks on the door. I get it. I did have food, yes. But a hug would have been nice. Like,
when I said I loved you and then you refused to say it back for 18 years.
My favorite one is my dad's not one to say he's sorry.
Yeah.
If he's wrong, it's very hard to be like,
Yeah.
He's like, well, I knew it was here somewhere. I was like, really? I'm scared.
I think you're wild. Like, that's my mom. She would never say sorry. She'd never admit fault. The only time she could genuinely admit fault, and I wouldn't even say genuinely, it's just kind of like a game that she plays, is like, the Lord put on my heart today that maybe I've not always been right. Like, he did that today at my big ass age of 32.
Really? God waited just till now. Just till now.
What is his schedule?
Yeah, like, how do you know that he made up that just for you?
Yeah, I'm like, God be putting a lot of shit on people's hearts that make no sense to me, because it's never God told me to go donate.
Right? God always like, God told me to burn the demons out of this place. I'm like, what? And it's like, when did God ever just say, hey, give that guy $1?
I think the story my parents probably would have related most to in the Bible is Abraham and Isaac.
Yeah.
I think my parents saw that story and was like, I think God's just wants to spare them.
I was like, yeah. He was like, like God said, hey, don't put the knife down, right? He did say put the knife. Well, except in that girl's case, hers was sounding like God said put it in,
kill it,
the knife.
Yeah, do it.
I was going to call back for the knife girl, knife play.
Oh, truly.
Yeah, she took that story way differently.
Yeah, I was like,
that's her daddy issues.
Yeah. I was like, I can't be into knife play because I have Ben Isaac in Genesis, so knife play's a little terrifying for me.
It's kind of weird when you're tied down to a rock bed.
Yeah, I was like, I think that is the story my parents would be like, no, like, God is sovereign. He'll come and rescue you from whatever nonsense we're into.
Yeah, God can't do any of the stuff he used to do because there's like, well, there's too much of a police presence now.
Yeah.
Like, just saying, like.
It's like God went from a whole book of miracles to being like, everyone like abuse. He's like the boyfriend who won't get you stuff because his last girlfriend didn't appreciate him enough. That's his miracle system right now.
Do you know what? I'm so mad because now I started to look back and it's like the first half is literally like a girlfriend that did not appreciate it.
Yeah.
Like, I literally told you, don't do this.
Yeah.
And you did it anyway.
You did it anyways. Like, it was like, I would give you guys miracles in 2026. Like, I don't know, clean water and like non-global warming. But like, you don't understand how bad they did me.
The crazy part is like, they did God so dirty in the Bible. He said, "Go take a walk for 40 years." He made them go take a walk.
You know what? You've pissed me off. Get out of my
Like,
sight.
I'm hanging out from a distance, but you're also going to take a walk.
Yeah, truly. Like when your parents are like, "Can you just go outside?" and they lock the doors. Like, I'm just don't want to see you for like an hour.
Yeah, and the crazy part is when they're like, "Oh, they were lost in the wilderness." I'm like, "How big was this wilderness?" Like, because if you're saying it was a small patch of woods, and they're like they just weren't physically allowed to go, that's insane.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But if you're saying like, "Oh no, it was like the Amazon," I'm like, "Is there a forest that big in that area?" Like,
He said 40 days, come back. They're like, well, what if we get
40
lost?
years.
40 years.
40, yeah.
What if we get lost? And
Yeah, imagine being the person that died there, being like, "Oh yeah, we were sent to London for 40 years, and you missed it by one day."
could you imagine? Like the next day, everyone's like, thank God. Literally, we're
Yeah.
back. And you're looking back like, I guess Hezekiah didn't make that.
Do you think it was like a COVID thing too? Like they got back out and they're like, "I want to go back to the woods. I want to go back
As
to
soon
the
as
tree."
They're all like, do you guys remember how good it was when we were like it was just us?
Yeah,
Like out there.
Like
and
we didn't have to deal with that guy over there.
Yeah.
He's like, he just keeps waving every day.
Yeah.
Hey neighbor. And they're like, I hate this guy.
My latest fixation on Christ is like, since we don't know much about Jesus's life, because apparently 6 and then he's like disappears from like the Bible till he's like 30 and ready to die. Which sure. I'm like looking at my own life. I'm like, yeah, I'm 32. I'm like, I've seen enough.
Yeah, you never get the teenage years of Christ.
Yeah, I'm like, what was it like? But we'll never know. My favorite thing is that he from nothing to a carpenter, no apprenticeship. We never hear about that, just a carpenter. And then I'm like, do you think when he carried the cross, like he was like impressed with the work?
I think he was mad because he probably was like, "This wood sucks.
This
like
wood
this
sucks.
is the worst wood you could have
They
used."
used the cheapest fucking wood, and like they could have used that one wood that's like a little hollow, and like it would have been easy to kind of hike over my shoulder, but no.
And also halfway through being like, "These people ain't fucking worth it."
Truly, like I just like knowing how petty I am, I would have been just like the suit. I'm like, I don't know, like I would have done it better.
A major influence, I think, maybe the Roman cooking.
Truly.
Maybe because he probably was like, "But that pasta dough, maybe they are worth it." Like
Maybe let's get up the hill and see what they feed me. Like I always have wondered about that. I'm like, him being a carpenter, do you think he just was kind of like, I'm not a fan of the work, or was he kind of like saw the carpenter in the crowd and was like, dude, this is like not your fault. Like we're buddies. Like we used to work together. We're blue collars, but
yeah,
we should have unionized.
It could have been looking at him like, I'm gonna touch it, and make it look good just for that guy, because I know they're gonna hang him too, or they're gonna do the same to him if it sucks.
Yeah.
So I don't because he's a good guy. He's a good guy.
This is my guy Jesus.
The crazy part is like back then, and I feel like this is some crazy stuff that people would do today.
Yeah.
They're like, do we free the thief or the guy that's going around telling everybody be nice to each other? And they're like, let the thief go.
Let the thief go, because like the nice shit is actually pissing me off.
Then
Like,
they-
truly.
Yeah. Then they made a movie about like the guy that the thief was.
Yeah.
And then like most of it's him being like, meh, and then at the end he changes his life.
Yeah. I do feel like that would be society.
It was like a 60s movie. Like the 60s, like for some reason, everybody was obsessed with the Bible
Oh yeah.
and
Yeah.
Woodstock.
Yeah. The end of the Bible, I would say obsession was like there was like God's not dead, all that stuff kind of started popping off a little bit. But I would say globally, it was Passion of the Christ was the end of it.
I'm more like the archaeological stuff. I like that kind of side
Yeah.
of it because it's like, oh, if you can prove to me what it says actually happens,
Yeah.
like, and they're like, well, we found the city that it's talking about, and it
Yeah.
does just match the description. And it's
Yeah.
like, that's cool.
Yeah.
Like that to me, it's like,
Historically, I'm like, there's a lot of history to be learned. Some of the stories, I'm like, yeah, like I too have done acid.
True.
I too have been very high and thought about a whale. Like, I'm not saying it's all false. I'm just saying I too have partaken in some spirits.
I like the Jonah story because I get to explain it to people, like,
Yeah.
because I grew up super religious too.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, oh, it's just a fish story. I'm like, no, there's a whole point in the story where like God sends him to go destroy the town, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. I was like, and the whole point is he's mad now because God won't destroy the village because they changed their ways.
Yeah.
And then God makes a plant grow and he
Yeah.
kills the plant and he's pissed because why'd you kill the
And
plant
burn it
for?
to death. Yeah.
He's like, so you care more about a plant than people? And I sum it up like that quick.
Yeah.
And they're like, why didn't they sum it up that quick? I'm like, I don't know, man. There's a lot of deep thinkers that wrote these, I think.
Yeah. A lot, like the Bible's like a huge book that could kind of be about 100 pages.
There's like a whole section where it's just a list of names.
Yeah, numbers.
And I'm like, what is the point of this? And they're like, it was an honor back then to be written. And I'm like, that's cool. Then. And like now they don't even know. They're dead.
My favorite book of the Bible, and I'm not a Christian anymore, but it is Lamentations. I don't know. It's something about a man just whining for a whole book is like genuinely good for me.
Fair. Psalms is supposed to be a book of songs.
Yeah.
Like it's supposed to be just, these are all supposed to be sung.
Yeah, I've never gotten to Psalms and then been like, I could catch a beat on one of these. Like, nothing flows.
But then again, you got to remember it's ancient beats.
Yeah.
And we've lost that ancient beat art.
Yeah.
We need to bring that back.
I need someone to start putting beats to the Psalms so that I know what they're supposed to sound like.
And they're also like they didn't have drums back then, I don't think. I think they had more like just harps.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. There are some stories in the Bible that I'm like are like wicked funny for me. Just because I grew up so devout that like I was like there's no way that there's nuance here. It is what it is.
I'm so curious now.
Like now I'm just like what? Like some of them I'm just like they don't make sense, guys.
Yeah.
Like some of it's okay to be a Christian and say like that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
The fish story where he multiplied the thousand. I was like, is there a chance that he just went to like the river and caught a bunch of fucking
because like how you're explaining it is like he just grabbed one fish and laid him out like a deck of cards, went like that. Because that makes sense.
Yeah.
But when you're like, this just seems like word salad here. Like, how did you turn one to many? Like,
or like the water to wine. I'm like, is there a chance he just like went to the kitchen?
Yeah, imagine just being like.
Yeah, I was like.
And they're saying it's the best wine too.
Yeah, I'm like, do you think he just squeezed like a couple old grapes into like a jar and was like, that'll do? And he's like, this is the blood of Christ. And people were like, yo, that's sick. But I also just think like, if Christ was here today, like Bible, like physically here, doing the exact same shit he was doing back then, I think he'd still have the exact same following.
I think so.
I don't think anything would change.
Did you ever watch like The Life of Brian?
Mm-mm.
It's like a Monty Python.
Okay.
And it basically sums up, like, it's about like this guy named Brian who is born same circumstances, same thing as Jesus, like the next stall over.
Yeah.
Except his name's Brian, and he has like shitty luck. So like so Jesus is happening in the background.
Yeah.
And then because all the things line up with him, there's some people that follow him.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, he's the Messiah. Like, he wants us to carry a gourd around. Yeah. And he's like, I carried it one time. Yeah. And like, they're like, oh, he walked with one sandal one time because he lost one.
Yeah.
He wants us to walk with one sandal. I never said that. And so then there's a group that's like walking with one sandal and one with a gourd.
Yeah.
And people were so offended. Like, this spits in the face of Jesus. He goes, actually, no, it just tells you what you guys did.
But yeah.
You took this and ran with it from...
Like you just went too hard. Like it's a reference. It's not. It wasn't supposed to be the law. It's just like a reference guide.
And a lot of these are also supposed to be like, "Hey, go tell people."
Yeah.
But be cool about it. Don't be a dick.
Yeah.
Like you're not supposed to be like, well, if you don't listen to me, you're gonna burn, right? Like that's not what this is supposed to be.
Yeah. Now everybody's like, I guess hell will be fun. I'm like, I guess. Like I know. I always tell Christians who are always like, oh, like you're gonna burn in hell. Are you okay with that? I always say like, if God is the God that you believe He is, I think we'll see each other again.
I grew up with there was no hell. That when you die, that was it.
I kind of like that.
And it was just because it's like, if God loves you so much, why would He torture you? They said it's the same as like if you grabbed a kid's hand and put it on the stove to tell him like, you were bad. Yeah. They're like, that doesn't sound like a loving parent at all.
Yeah.
A loving parent would tell you, here's what you did wrong.
Here's how to correct it.
Yeah.
And we still love you, girl. I grew up with the brimstone and fire god. The heaven god was like a very distant belief system of ours. You were more likely to go to hell than you were ever to go to heaven in my house. And I remember the first time I really was like, I don't think this shit is real. And I'm not saying it's not. It's just not for me. Was when I had a Sunday school teacher tell me hell is like the place that has your least favorite thing. Like, or has, like, imagine the thing you love the most. Hell doesn't have that. And I was like, at the time, I'm a kid. So I'm thinking like, I don't know, like my family, my friends. And then she goes, imagine if you loved math. Hell has no math.
You're not making it.
girl, send me to hell. Like,
yeah, you're like, oh, I want a lot of this.
Yeah.
I just get a lot of it. Like,
yeah. So then I spent like a solid year of my life being like, I love math, because I was like, if I'm gonna go to hell,
I'm gonna start loving a lot of bad things.
yeah, because I'm okay to go to hell and not have math. Like,
Yeah.
if that's what Satan's like, I know you liked math so much, I'm like, yeah, got me. And then I'm just chilling in hell. And
Yeah,
it's
you're
not
like,
that
man,
bad.
I love it when I have tomatoes on my sandwich.
Are you listening, Satan?
Yeah.
Like,
you hear me? Double check. You see them double cheeseburgers? Love that tomato on there. I especially love taking it off because I love the moisture of the tomato left behind. Because it's not the same as whenever I said don't make it with no tomato.
I
Just take it
love
off.
I love the Quaker Oats that don't have the frosting.
Ooh.
Those are my favorite cereals, Satan. So, I mean, if I go to hell,
cornflake.
yeah, just the flake of a corn. If I go to hell and that's not there, I'm going to freak out.
I don't know how long we've been going.
Yeah.
We've been going for a while.
Yeah, we can wrap it up.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you one last thing.
Yeah.
And I hope it doesn't spiral into another 30
No,
minutes.
no.
But nothing that I'm not having fun. I just don't want to keep you guys
Oh,
from,
no, you're fine.
your day. What is a movie that traumatized you as a kid? Like freaked you out to this day it still kind of gives you that, like, you get tense around it.
What is yours?
Like mine could be a couple different ones. But the one that sticks out to me most, Independence Day.
Ooh, that's a good one.
And it's only one scene.
Which one?
It's the scene whenever they go into when they're operating on it.
Oh, and then it, like,
and it
freaks
comes
out.
alive, and then
Yeah.
release me.
Yeah.
That freaked me to this day. Like I can't watch that part. It
Yeah.
freaks me out. Like I have to like walk away.
That's great. I love Independence Day. For me, it's the day after tomorrow where everything freezes.
Fair.
That for me, because that felt way too real as a kid. Like, I just, especially living in Erie, I just thought, like,
Oh yeah. Well, you're just living it every
yeah,
winter.
I was like, oh, that could happen anytime. And then just like the way people died in it. Yeah. The day after tomorrow, I just could not. Every time it's on TV, I'm like, I can't look at that.
I always like to figure out what people like were freaked out as a kid. Like there's different movies, like the Spider Baby from Toy Story used to freak me out.
Ooh.
Remember the little baby
Yeah.
doll? That when you're a kid, that's terrifying.
Yeah, there is one Disney movie that I don't know the name of, but I'm sure somebody would. It's a Disney Halloween movie, and I don't really remember the plot line, but like something sinister is happening the whole time, and it's like a family, like a sister, maybe her brothers, and I don't remember what happens, but I only remember this part, and it freaked me out. And even in high school, I would like get scared to open my locker. She goes to school and like there's like death written on every locker or something, or like there's a letter written on everyone's locker, but it's like it looks like it's in blood, like it's leaking, and she is the only locker that doesn't have it. And so everyone thinks it's her, but when she opens her locker when no one's around, it's on the inside. And I to this day, whatever that movie was, I was traumatized as a kid. Like,
Dang.
I literally would get sick.
I remember watching Wishbone as a kid.
Wishbone was good, right?
I was just watching a documentary on that, like explaining how they did everything. They're
Yeah.
like the animal trainers were like a big part, and they were like, it was like we were filming a movie every
Yeah.
week. Like, and they were like
Whoa.
in Dallas when they would do
Yeah.
it, and I was like, this is so cool.
Yeah.
Like, and then they were explaining like how they like picked the stories and stuff. But I remember the Halloween episode because they had to like play a game. But the game was all, and then I think they also tied it into either Dr. Jekyll.
Oh, that would scare me.
Yeah, it was like kind of creepy, like
Yeah.
for a kid.
Yeah.
But then you're also like, now you watch as an adult, you're like, what was I afraid of?
I don't know. I mean, Are You Afraid of the Dark and Goosebumps when we were kids was absolutely horrific.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Signs.
Signs, I can't do Signs.
I grew up in the country, and there was a barn
Yeah.
right outside where my parents live.
Yeah.
So, and of course, I had to go feed, like they had an outside dog, so I had to go feed the dog.
Yeah.
And of course, they want to feed it at night because that's whenever everybody wants you to go out at night. And so
Always.
my brother would be out there making the alien noises,
Yeah.
that clicking they were making in the
Yeah.
movie. He would do spot on.
Yeah.
So he would do it out the window.
Signs.
And me, I don't know if it was like, the gay part of me, I guess. I was wearing my mom's shoes. I don't know. I just wear adult shoes.
Yeah.
And so I was wearing my mom's shoes, and my brother said, "Here they come!" And he goes, "I'm running from the barn." And it just sounded click, 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 click. I don't know. I just put her shoes on because they were easy to slip
They're
on.
bigger shoes than yours. Yeah.
It was just easier to slip on. Just go.
Yeah. Signs. Signs I didn't make it through. But then Signs kind of like fucked me up for Field of Dreams, which is one of my favorite movies. So
I was watching a cool. Oh yeah, so we're gonna wrap it up, but I'll finish this one.
Yeah.
I was watching a video of people watching Field of Dreams the first time,
Oh, that would make me so happy.
and they were just bawling
Yeah.
at the end because they're like, "It's his dad,"
Yeah.
and I was like, "Oh," like I didn't watch the movie until I already knew what the spoiler was.
Yeah.
and I was just like, I need to rewatch this now because this
Oh, I love
looks
it.
like especially if you're a person that has like unresolved things and you want to say things, like
Yep.
that's the movie to watch.
Yeah. Field Dreams. It's on my bucket list to just go to I mean, whose bucket list is Iowa? But like, I just want to go and see it. Like, just one of my favorite movies.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you want to tell people where they can find you at? Like,
Yeah. So you can find me on Instagram at Whitney Moore Comedy, and the Moore is MOR. Okay, because it's people like to spell like more MORE, but it's not. It's Whitney WHITNEY MOR Comedy. Same with my Venmo. And then I'm also on TikTok as what is it called? More to it. So it's like MORTOIT. More to it, which is where I'm talking mad shit on my coworkers. So
heck yeah. I put links in the episode descriptions.
Yeah.
I never know what to put for bios because I'm like, I don't know how to just describe what this episode is. Like,
Yeah.
come see them.
yeah, chaos about movies and childhood trauma.
Right?
Yeah.
I was, like I said, it's more of a hang.
Yeah.
Never
I
know
feel-
how. I don't mean to go deep. It's just like you're
No,
talking.
no.
And,
I think it was fun.
yeah. So I
Yeah.
had fun.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. All right. I'll see you guys.